And we are now live. Hopefully this time YouTube won't be a scummy piece of filth and randomly jig the connection. Welcome to everyone who's here for this stream and the many more who will appear. I'm going to introduce the people we have here. First person being the one, the only, dreaded man.
Hello. It's been a while.
Been 66 days since they've drank
At
water.
Totally.
Next, Raph, the brutal one. Raph has been busy working in a cannibal kitchen. He cooks up people every single day. 4th of July is pretty fucking busy, so we're actually lucky to have him in our presence here.
Actually, luckily enough, we're gonna be. My boss was like, "Hey, we're closed for 4th of July all the way till the 8th." And I was like, "Yep, that's good."
Well, that's actually pretty nice. And then,
Yeah,
of
no.
course, the darkest of signals.
Good day.
Hi. Dark Signal's been busy drowning people in the lake, so, you know, he's in his usual mood.
They've all been pooping in the lake, so they must be punished.
Oh yeah, Dark Signal did have an interesting encounter a little bit ago, unfortunately, but that's just the kind of shit that happens.
What happened?
Well,
Someone
first,
pooped in the lake.
Oh, did someone actually shed the lake? Oh, great.
There were witnesses and lighting.
literally, someone dumped ass right in like perfectly in the sight lines of at least 10,000 people.
Well, you know what? When you gotta go, you gotta go. So.
Well,
The lake
Raph, would you
that's
drop
right.
your trunks and shit in the middle
Nah,
of the
I
street?
probably wouldn't. What if you shot through his trunks though?
That's
It wasn't a he.
Why are we
Oh,
talking
fuck.
about this, you fucking animals?
I'm not the one who
Yeah.
brought this up. The most
Conversation
civilized
starts.
one here,
Okay.
Dark Signal, believed, that's a good way to start things off. Let's talk about literally shit.
It's my fault for carrying it on. I was curious.
Yeah, you little bastard. Anyways, we'll be working on scenes, answering questions. As long as the stream quality doesn't randomly tank like before, then I'll have to kill
It'd
people.
be funny to just, like, completely fuck up your stream quality without warning just to see what happens, just to see a reaction.
I
Like, I
mean, if
just
it
zapped
happens
that
more
shit.
than once, I'm just gonna have to assume YouTube's doing another passive-aggressive security measure trying to wipe out animators, like, for the 15th time.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna drop your stream quality to 24p.
Don't do it. Anyways, I'm touching up the end of the first museum scene because when I originally animated this, my computer is running so fucking slow that the actual animation speed of the characters was affected by that because I couldn't tell how things are moving in the preview. I mean, already, like, even like this, it's running at like half speed, but before it was running so slow, it was like a fucking like a PowerPoint presentation, and I had no way of knowing how smooth it was unless I wanted to wait 10 minutes every single time I did a movement. But now things are running a little bit better, so I'm reanimating it so it doesn't look like garbage. So, if there's any stream, any stream chat questions, Dark Signal, feel free to point them out. And we will
Sure
be
thing.
sharing Dread or Raph's screen shortly so they can show off what they're doing.
Oh, goody.
Raph has
You
been
ever told
working
me
on
what you
some...
wanted me to draw on stream?
What do you mean you don't think you want to draw? You ever draw...
No, I said you didn't tell me what to draw.
You're gonna draw, let me find something. You're gonna
Draw
draw...
some little creatures, little tinies.
You have to draw some stuff for people getting tortured to death later in the movie.
No, I already draw that.
Well, you draw it on a daily basis, but now it has to be explicitly so people in the stream are terrorized. Because terrorizing people personally is one of my favorite things to do. Like,
You
having
kind of weren't
peace-
specific enough about that for me to actually draw this brother I...
Well, consider this. Consider this.
My brother
There's
in
gonna
Christ.
be a scene in the movie where Ammo makes someone chew on a light bulb.
God bless.
Is that enough to go off of?
It's a normal day-to-day
Sure.
activity.
I suppose I can draw an ammo light bulb chewing session.
Perfect. Alright. These ammo baskets.
I should have drawn like a more horrendous bite out of the watermelon.
Like it's by some wild animal.
Yes. I'm so sorry, except Raph would be enough of a wild animal to eat a watermelon rind and all.
I mean, you don't have to call me out like that, but sure.
Oh no, it's okay, I would too.
So Agent 1338 has asked a question in Portuguese. What is the meaning of life?
Let's translate.
Shit, man.
Inherently, life is to suffer. which makes the happiness all the much better.
I don't really
Remember-
believe in that part. I think life itself is just getting through a river of chaos, and sometimes you have cool moments, sometimes you have shit ones. You just have to do the best you can with the resources you have available.
A lot of ups and
find your
downs.
happiness.
To feel pain is to prosper.
Never
Is
be
it-
too comfortable. If you get too comfortable, you become complacent, and then stagnant.
Exactly.
Like that one animator named Stagnant.
And
Is that your name, Stagnant?
always try and face the things you're most uncomfortable with, be it work, school. Push yourself to face it. It's important.
Precisely, or else you become weak and a creep. You become one of those chronically online people that likes drawing things that are very inappropriate.
Like you, ha ha ha.
Like
Well-
me.
Well, I don't draw things very
I'm
inappropriate.
joking. I'm joking.
Does he?
Are you serious right now?
Are you for real?
You're-
You draw
Dark, you're
babies
saying
getting
that to me
exploded.
like I illustrate animals being thrown into fire.
I mean,
I mean,
we're just-
I
back
don't
and
do
forth.
that. Don't bullshit.
I know, dude. You have cows and chickens.
I
at your
literally
house,
have
I know you're an
chicken
animal lover.
image.
He
Bunch
does
of,
have chicken.
bunch of
image.
cockadoodle bastards, I call them. Cockadoodles.
They woke me. Okay, Josh. When I stayed over at your house, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to twist your chicken's neck for cawing at 5 in the morning.
Oh my god.
Oh, you and Dark Signal share a similar opinion then. Because Dark Signal wanted to grab the bird and twist its head till it popped off like a fucking Pez container.
I would have eaten it afterwards too. I would
You
have.
I would've
a good dinner.
Damn,
I would have
really?
served Jsoull an omelet.
Well, what do you mean? I already get eggs every day, you fucker.
They were really good eggs after that.
The freshest.
It would
Good.
have made you some fricassee poultry.
I do
No,
see a lot of
we
questions
ate
in the chat.
cannibal chicken eggs. We ate those.
TEG asks, "Yo, what's with the chicken on Jsoull on the right? That's my baby bird Junior. He's the son of
My baby
Roosty.
bird.
He's the son of Roosty and Queen. He's the half silver spangled Hamburg, half Egyptian Fayumi.
Ooh. This is like Dark Souls lore for Josh's chickens.
Basically, and he's a pretty hyper bastard.
Hyper.
Very hyper. In case you're wondering, he's the one who shat on my desk on that one stream and then attacked the webcam.
What the fuck's been going on?
You don't need to know. Maybe it's better that you don't know, Dread. You ever consider that for once in your life you don't need to know everything that happens around you? You ever consider that?
We're so mean.
I think you're
Lordy.
fucked up.
Yeah,
I think you're fucked up. You know what I think? Hey Raph, would you do me a favor?
Huh? Yeah.
I'm gonna slide you something secret in your DMs.
Uh-oh.
I slide
Uh-oh.
I
through.
want you to tell me your opinion.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Actually, you make it sound like it's something pretty bad.
Oh, sweet. What is this?
Click the link and tell me your opinion
Wait, let me inspectigate this.
Adjust glasses, call horror pot truck, snap.
Hello. What's your name? Nice to meet you. What the fuck? This is scary. I'm closing it. I'm not opening this link ever again.
It's already
I'm
too
glad
late.
you're a fan.
It is already too late. I've done too much.
Should I show them?
I think that could be a little dangerous. How inappropriate is it?
I think you'll
It's
get
not
everyone
inappropriate at
killed.
all. It's just funny.
I just saw it on my feed and it made me smile stupid.
Maybe because you are stupid. You ever consider that?
Takes
I
one to
consider
know
that
one.
daily.
Chicken bum.
Rolling eyes emoji.
I'm gonna call you Chicken Butt from now on.
Just like my dad.
Someone's fucking
Hey,
spamming
hi,
me on my
Chicken
phone with a
Butt.
bunch of nonsense.
If you want, I could like bomb you, like terrorist style.
If you want me to, I can bomb you.
If you want, I
No.
could bomb you, but you have to be down for it, you know. It's not fun if you just bomb a person like.
It's consensual bombing.
I
it-
prefer
it
not
happens.
killing people indiscriminately. That comes later.
I didn't say that I was killing them. I said I was bombing them. You're the one that assumed they were dying.
Well,
This is
usually
where the
when you
stream-
drop
this
an
is where the stream gets shut down because because Viv's fucking pretending
terrorist
to be
activity.
a domestic terrorist.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit
Pretending?
you.
Oh fuck!
At Raph pretending.
Stop!
Raph does have experience with domestic terrorists.
Stop! I don't.
Hey FBI, just so you know,
What are you
his
talking
Raph,
address
you
is
to commit terroristic
1234
actions.
This is terrible.
Street.
Why did Biggie rap about 9/11 before 9/11 happened?
Maybe he paid for it to happen. Maybe it was his doing. That'd be fun.
I see a question by Nitro
From
Cat
Lemon.
asking,
Okay, fine.
"Hey Jsoull, does the AHW still exist? If yes, are they allied with the AAMO?" The answer to that is, at least in Maxification 2, they're gone. Their fucking bases have been salted and powderized. After Auditor vanished,
Fine.
like imagine if like fucking 3 BC Christians had all their religious artifacts vanish overnight. That's basically like what happened to them when Auditor disappeared.
Deleted from the history books.
Do they keep the religion, or do they just like
They
give
kind of,
up at that point?
a lot of them probably just got hunted down like dogs or starved to death wandering in the desert. But then a couple of them decided to make a couple modifications to the Bible, so to speak. And they are who became Ammo. If AHW existed alongside Ammo, that'd be kind of weird because Ammo only exists as like a descendant faction of what they used to
Yeah,
be.
it's like traces.
Yeah, so like they given how Ammo exists, they can't exist alongside HW in continuity. Because they can only exist if the Auditor and the HW itself fell apart.
Toa Evi Industries now exists. in
I'm
Madness.
seeing-
They're basically the one-winged angel.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of questions here
I
from.
was getting
Boy.
Follow ancient Rome.
Well, go right ahead. There's a bunch in the start you didn't call out.
Here's one from Lemon Duck. How did you get the idea for the Nexus being the enemy force that the ammo face? And how did you get the idea to put N51 in the movie?
These are like really weird questions. I chose Nexus because they're like a pretty well-known faction with some cool designs I liked, and they had some principles that I can modify to make some new takes on how they look. Because I wanted there to be like visual discrepancies between each faction, so they aren't just like different people in different outfits. I want Ammo to be slick, sci-fi, and kind of alien. N51 is like a really grounded faction with like a lot of equipment that's based off shit you actually see in real life. Like their weapons are based on real life weapons decently well, but sometimes like heavily modified. A lot of their vehicles are almost one-to-one with ones that exist in real life, just with modifications and shit like that. And the Nexus are just kind of like, they're also futuristic and sci-fi, but they're also overly utilitarian to the point where a lot of their gear is kind of clunky. Like they streamlined the process for designing their gear and creating their soldiers so much to where it started to impact their actual performance. Like I had an idea that Dark Signal tries to kill me every time I tell them, where Nexus Core, they make each of their bullets square instead of like round. And the reason they do that is because it saves 1 penny per 500,000 bullets cast out of metal.
But that's just fucked up.
So it saves them that much. So it doesn't matter if it makes the bullet's performance be terrible, makes them super inaccurate and ineffective, doesn't matter. It saves us that much money, so there's just no other choice.
Why would we choose anything else?
Literally. So a lot of this stuff's also kind of like boxy. I think on the like one of the earlier streams I showed off some of the golem designs. They have robotic golems with like cyber heads, but they're like big bricks of metal with computers inside, like old brick, like classic brick tower computers like from the 80s. Those are the inspiration for that. Also, quick question to the stream chat. If the music is too low or too high, let me know and I'll make adjustments. Because it seems like this stream is going smoothly so far. YouTube's not screaming at me.
Not for long.
Alright. If there's anything with the music, yeah, just let me know and I'll make the tweaks. I do
Next
see...
question.
Yeah, what's up?
Going backward, next question is from Rebu Cat. How do you animate your recoil? And more importantly, are you guys going trick-or-treating?
Trick-or-treating? It's not even
I
anywhere...
wish I
It's
could,
not even
except
fucking
I'm, like,
fall
almost
yet, you
20.
bastard.
He's getting mad.
I don't go to trick-or-treating anymore. I dress up as Michael Myers and I stab random people in the street. People think it's an act, so I get away with it every year. You think I'm kidding? I'm serious.
So about that recoil.
Oh yeah, recoil. I mean, I can have an example here. Goes pew. At least I've kind of changed how I've done recoil a little bit. Usually it's like a still frame when he fires the bullet, then downward angled semi-slide back recoil, then it goes like up and back a lot with a slide all the way back, and then it kind of shoots back and up forward as the slide returns to its default position and it kind of snaps. Gives it more mechanical if it goes pow like that. But that's just with pistols. With SMGs, I usually have a similar principle, but instead of rotating up and back, it just kind of goes straight back and then rotates slightly as it returns to position. Usually
Static Box guy is saying that he's on max volume and that the music is low.
Alright, I'll turn it up a bit.
He could be lying to blast out everyone's ears here.
Well, if
Delicious.
this blasts out people's ears, then I'll just turn it back. I've just doubled the volume. Agent 1338 asks...
What do you guys think of Brazil?
Oh, you want to ask me that fucking question, huh?
Brazil sounds
I
like
mean,
a
it
scary
sounds like
place
it
to
might
live.
be nice. I would go there. I would go there at least once to know what it's like.
Sure.
Brazil?
Like if you told me, hey, wanna come to Brazil? I
Oh,
would
Josh.
go, fuck yeah, absolutely.
Whose little substream do you have open, by the way?
I'm gonna do yours
oh,
right
holy
now.
shit, Effrey's here.
Yeah.
Hi, Effrey.
We're like losery.
Effrey is so nice to me. He's the
I hate
fucking coolest.
Efree. I hate them.
You ain't ever met them. Shut up.
Piss up. Oh cool,
No,
it just
I
worked.
feel like
Alright, I got Raffy Taffy's little thingamajig on the top right.
Nice.
He's working on a badass new solo that looks like one of the best things I've ever seen, so I'd say it's pretty cool. Goes pow. In case anyone's wondering, actually no, I'm gonna ask the stream, do you recognize this original character? He's from a classic cartoon. Don't spoil it, Raph.
I know.
Does anybody recognize this guy? If you don't, I'm gonna have to cancel the film because no one's gonna recognize anything. Who does this guy remind you of, stream? He should be familiar. And if he isn't, well, I'm just gonna have to kill you. I'm gonna have to kill you just like that.
Jason,
I think
you
you
gone
shouldn't
nuts?
kill people.
This is how you always talk to your streamlings?
You're just like him too, Dark.
Why are you like this, Jsoull?
Maybe because
Scary.
working on this movie for so long starts to undo the synapses in my brain. They rewire themselves in chaotic ways.
We call that improving as an artist.
We call that wrapping a plastic bag around someone's head and then hanging them from a rooftop.
Raph, put a gangsta SpongeBob image on your stream.
Don't do it.
Oh,
That is...
BRB.
Oh no. That is so outrageously inappropriate. I cannot even begin.
Gangsta SpongeBob.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna kick SpongeBob around like a fucking rag doll.
I thought
Yeah.
you liked SpongeBob.
You and what army?
Apparently, a couple people do recognize him, which is good. Yes, Lemon Duck got it. It's the dude from Parody. Some people said
Speaking of
Kel's out. Are you fucking retarded?
Stop.
That is not Kelzad.
He isn't even green.
Media literacy is dead. People
No,
think
just
that's
wait this out.
Kelzad.
And what, you think I was gonna have Kel's out in the movie, not have him use his melee weapons?
Oh fuck, be right back. For like
Good.
2 seconds, don't worry. I promise.
A cartel member just broke into Dredd's room with a shotgun.
Yes.
Red, free leave.
Too late. Gone forever. No hope.
God damn it. Anyways.
As I was saying,
What's up?
speaking of bullying people, TEG is asking which OC do you like bullying the most?
Now that could mean a couple things. It means like bullying their design or bullying the creator in like a meta way. I'd say the OC I bully the most is probably like Yelan Sokar, just because they're built up to be the most powerful character in the history of the entire universe, but they almost never do anything that's very powerful. Or at least like they're really stupid to the point where they don't use their powers to immediately win, and instead just talk nonstop or just do things that don't really mean anything.
That's why you gave him a spotlight in this movie.
That's why I want to show how to do the character right, because the original creator doesn't seem to know what he's doing. Because he's going to make 16 more Realm episodes until they actually show off the cool stuff. And it's like, oh, okay.
Well, that's not very nice. I can't believe. I mean, you know what? I'm telling Kelzad. Kelzad, I know you're watching.
Well, you know, actually, I used to be on pretty good terms with him, and he told me he also wanted to do, like he wanted there to at least be, like, 10 episodes. I don't know if that's still the goal or not, but, Waiting another 6 years to see the end of that, I think, is pushing audience expectations a bit far.
Could be.
Do I have the ammo? Okay, should I have the bullets in there? Give me a sec. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say was, main issue is because the power scaling got really bad by the time Realm 5 happens, and it's to where like Realm 1 through 4 shouldn't have been able to happen, because Sokar should have just been immediately able to kill Kel'Thuzad and destroy the tower and win, like immediately. But it didn't happen because then we wouldn't have a series. That's the that shit happens in like cartoons and comics all the time. It's just a personal pet peeve of mine. Like, it's not specifically Realm. I just hate that shit wherever it shows up. I actually really like animating bullet casings. Some people might disagree, but I just think it's kind of fun. Do you hate bullet casings, Rafi?
Depends. It really just depends. Like, if there's a fuck ton of them, kill me. If there's only a few, it's fine. Take my time with it. Kree's pre-animated ones are good, but I can't use them anymore because they remind me of the Forgotten Era.
The Forgotten Era? What do you mean?
Silliness.
Oh, you mean like back when you used to like kidnap people in Exile?
Absolutely.
I understand. Sometimes that shit just kind of happens. I remember when I was on much better terms with a lot of people, then Kree started kidnapping people and torturing them, and I really wasn't into that, so I had to stop talking to him. Last I heard, he was working in an internment camp somewhere.
What the fuck?
I'm not kidding. I'm serious.
Sure you are. How can anyone believe anything you say at this point?
I mean, when have I ever said anything that was inaccurate?
Shut up, goober.
Bastards. Next question.
Next.
Someone's asking what program you use.
Oh boy. Don't tell them. I wonder if they'll figure it out.
Don't use Animate. Actually, well, don't use specifically Animate. Why the fuck is it not on my hotbar?
Don't say 2019 because I used
2018. Don't use 2018 specifically. It's the worst version. It's the worst in every single possible way you can imagine. It is the worst thing ever made. Period. Just don't use it. A lot of Flash products, like the newer they get, the worse they get. If you're gonna get into animating madness, do CS6 because that's the most stable and feature complete. It has crashed on me. It's still crashed on me before, but it's crashed on me like a lot less than other Adobe programs have.
Definitely a lot less.
There, I just did a cute little bullet animation. Kind of rolls along, goes ping, ping, ping.
We have been keeping track of how many times that Flash has crashed for him this year.
Yeah, we're up to like 80 something. Let me check. We were up to 83 crashes. 83 crashes since I started counting about like early-ish last year.
Oh, so damn.
So we're gonna be at least at 100 by the end of this one. I'm pretty excited for that, actually.
Be good fun.
Speaking of excitement, Lemon Duck is asking, if Maxification got a video game, how would you react?
What contact? You mean like a FNF mod or something? That's more likely than some dev studio making an entire game about it.
I doubt it would be. Well, I mean, I guess it'd be like NPN.
I mean, that's kind of weird. I mean, I'd be flattered if someone made like an NPM mod about it. I'm not really sure how I would react. I think it's pretty cool. But I think there's also better things that could be made. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the case. It just goes pew. There's a little trick shot. And see, this guy's like, maybe if I could just fire a single bullet, I get to go home. He doesn't go home.
No one goes home.
And what's funny is the ammo guy takes his time, even does like a flashy little like kind of pistol twirl, and then just bam, dead. Parroting Madness was cancelled, which means Parroting 2 never happened, which means my channel doesn't exist, so I'm not sure how long the stream's gonna be here.
Henceforth. Yes.
Might cause some, the dial of destiny's been tweaked a little bit. Speaking of which, I heard that movie's pretty bad. But then again, what else are you to expect from modern films?
Will Poet Longhorn be making an appearance appearance in Max 2? Asks coworker Gerald.
Yes. And Necro is going to show it off, but Necro, unfortunately, like, I know I put him in the thumbnail, but in the last minute, he told me some pretty troubling news. Well, do you guys want to hear it?
I haven't heard a word.
He went to go grab an empanada from across the street, and some cartel dude splashed his hands with boiling oil in the kitchen.
Wait, fuck off, really?
And he's currently healing up using some magical incantations, so he might appear, might not.
That's fucked.
I mean, boiling oil's no joke. I mean, I got, like, unironically speaking, I did get splashed with boiling water when I was like 13, 14. I got it, like, poured on my leg, and that really sucked.
I get like little droplets of.
I know, I
hot
fucking
grease in
hate
the
that.
kitchen.
Like, Raph, you cook with so much goddamn oil when we made those steaks.
No, I don't. You're fucking dumb.
You like bathe them in fucking oil. I'm
As a fucking
serious.
cook, are you retarded?
You poured so much oil, they were literally
Josh,
like,
because
they're
you don't know how to
soaking
cook,
in
does not mean
grease.
Other people don't know how to cook.
I cook fantastic steaks.
You
You poured
under-
so
no, you
much
son of a bitch.
oil.
Okay,
So
chat, listen up.
much
Chat, listen up.
oil.
This
Don't you
motherfucker's
dare.
raising
I
his
make the
chickens
best
so that he
quality fucking meat you could ever imagine. The
No,
most succulent,
no,
highest
he's raising
quality
his chickens
steaks,
just to
the most
undercook them.
delicious ingredients and spices.
Nuh-uh. Nope. Your chicken was stringy and bloody.
I like stringy, bloody chicken.
Even my mom said,
You get the strength from the blood. That's why you also drink the blood from the steak when you're done.
Dude, that is not the same with chicken.
Raph, it's like what I like. Raph, when you came over, do you remember
I'm
when
dying
when I
inside.
gave you
Terrible
when I
conversation.
gave you that metal straw and I stuck it into the back of the cow so I could
Chat,
drain its
Is
blood?
it okay to have bloody chicken? Yes or no? Answer that
Yes.
question first.
You want to drink? You want to eat raw chicken? You want to have all your food uncooked, raw meat all the time. If it's rotten, even better. You want to eat the rotten meat.
I'm terrified for your health.
Do you actually think I eat rotten meat, Raph?
No, I'm joking. but
Good. But yeah, I
your
want
ass-
to.
I'm just saying your ass couldn't outcook me right now.
Fuck
Put
you.
my
When
money
you
where- we can have a
made
cooking
those
competition
steaks,
Next time we meet.
listen,
too.
those steaks were good, but they're also so absurdly oily because you
Well,
literally
you didn't
bait.
fucking let me cook it. You literally stood there the whole time.
You poured in so much oil, they were like floating,
I'm
free
doing it right
floating
now.
in oil.
Oh my god.
Look on the fucking stream, Raph. Who's the one
I'll
next to
kill
the grill? Me.
I'll kill
I'm the
you. I'll kill
fucking
you
king
right
here,
now.
bitch.
I'll put you on the grill right now.
I'm gonna fucking attack you.
Oh
I'm
my
back.
god.
Sorry about
Oh,
being gone for so long.
just
I
missed
was
something.
I was asking about dinner.
Oh, you think you could just eat food, huh? You think it's
Speaking of
really
dinner,
fucking funny to do this
Dread,
shit?
This motherfucker undercooks his
Huh?
chicken.
I
Ah!
don't cook my chicken because I like my chickens alive. That's why.
Oh my god, BS. You ate
God.
chicken and enjoy it.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy.
Those little henlings you lay,
Oh, it's Amelia.
little henlings you're taking care of, they're just gonna be food.
I call them cockadoodle machines.
Cocklings.
Hmm.
I think I might do the little parasite thing that you were talking about, Josh.
Good, because I think it's a neat
Yeah.
idea. I'm gonna try out a
think so, too.
feature here real quick.
Alright. How's that rendering going for the, oh wait, no, you're streaming the other thing.
There we go. Render, one sec. I need to reshare. Okay, now people can see your thingamajig.
My thingamadig.
Your thingamajigada.
So far, the results are tied.
Those fuckers.
For what?
I asked if it's a good idea to eat raw meat. And everyone's saying yes, so
All
sorry,
these people are
Raph. You're
fucking animals, they don't count.
Raph, you're fucked, Raph. I'm sorry, you don't.
You know what? You know what, Josh? Look at my
Yeah?
stream. Look at my
Everyone's
stream right
pretty
now.
on the side.
I'm
Look at
looking.
my
No, please stop! Anything but that. I hate those. They're weird, and cringe. I remember seeing them back in like 2006, and I was like, as a little kid, I was like, what the hell are these things?
Dread, look at my stream, look.
Gangsta tip.
Oh, holy shit.
It's just
I
for you,
fucking
bro.
love Gangsta SpongeBob.
Tip number 5. It's important for gangsters to learn important stuff like how to make sandwich or how to open cans observe as much as possible, and it may be important later on in gangsta life. It's fucking
That's an
true.
important gangsta tip.
It's
I
so
think if
fucking
Josh
true.
followed that, we'd be set.
I think we'd be fine.
How about I fucking
This should
run a
actually be
razor
Matt's
down your
new rules
fingertips?
channel. You already did that, and they look kind of funny.
Looks a little funky, a little Friday.
My fingers look a little funny,
Uh,
because you do that so fucking much. Got them skeleton hands.
oh, Dread, remember the time I made you chew on sand until your teeth fell out?
Yeah, and that's why I talk funny. I'm like,
Yeah, basically.
Josh,
Yeah,
we
Dread
should-
talks
we
like a. Dread actually looks like a Muppet because they don't have teeth anymore.
yeah, I used a pair of pliers after the sand didn't work.
Blowtorch
Kind of
supplies.
fucked up.
Went medieval on your ass.
Go to work on the homes here.
Here applies
Oh.
the blowtorch.
Hey, Signal, have you ever seen Swallow the Universe?
Oh God.
Ew.
No, it
It's
is
not
okay. Like
gross
I'm
anymore.
okay. Like it is one of the most awesome things I've ever seen. But Dark Signal would have his head explode.
Not that bad. It's pretty cool.
It is fucking awesome, but
Like
at the
from
same
an animation
time,
standpoint, it's insanely impressive.
it is. It's like what it tries to accomplish. It does quite well. Like it somehow captures the audiovisual experience quite well.
But yeah. I'll be right back, by the way.
Audio visual experience of what?
Of being blasted out on psychedelics.
No. Frankly, I'm impressed that that's something you can capture at all.
They did shockingly well.
It's just kind of subjective
Because,
for
listen,
everybody.
one time back in high school, I got stuck in the back of the head with a needle full of DMT.
Oh.
And that was an experience. And when I woke up, I was in trash compactor.
Oh my god.
Shit just happens.
You know, Jsoull,
What?
I got a real question. What's your opinion on Mad God? I haven't seen it yet. What's your opinion on Mad God, like the stop motion?
I have a mixed opinion. That'll
I would
probably make
love to
people
hear that
really,
mixed
probably make people really mad. I think that visually, it is one of the most spectacular stop motion films ever. But like as an actual like movie with a story and narrative, it isn't good. And that it pains me to say that because I love Trepet. He's like been one of the best stop motion animators ever. But like the story and like what's happening is just complete I don't mean like nonsense in like a way that it's chaotic. I mean like it's just like it's narrative gumbo, I'll say.
Ah,
Gumbo explains it quite well.
I see.
It is like I think you should see it, to be clear.
Oh, of
But,
course. Like, it's more
Like
of a
if you're
visual
if you
experience.
if you actually are going in there for anything but the visuals though, you're gonna be like you're not really gonna get anything from it.
I see.
Rapper PhD returns.
Raffy Taffy. Raffy Taffy. Yeah, so everyone agrees that raw meat is the best option. It seems.
You're lying to me. I'll open
Look on the
stream right
fucking
now.
stream right now.
You know what? Jsoull?
What?
Fucking stab you right now.
You should have tried when you're back here, bitch.
It's 60. You guys are all animals. You're all fucking animals.
Yeah, look how many people. It's like, see, Raph, you're the weird one. Eating raw meat. Like, have you ever gone outside, grabbed a squirrel, and just took a bite out of it? I have.
You know what? You know what?
I mean, Kenny Rogers took a bite out of some raccoon brains.
Kenny Rogers, and this is Jackass.
Would you
Yes,
eat raw
that-
brain, Josh?
I have.
like chicken on my brain here.
Actually, I did have brain on one occasion, and that was like 2019 Pico Day when I was with Cymberine and fucking Johnny, the dude who did the OST for Castle Crashers.
Anita.
And then I was also with
You
the
would
guy.
fucking eat raw brain at that kind of event.
No, I was with the guy he brought who was also like a wanted like child abuser at the time. So
It was a what?
he brought someone with him who he didn't like. He was working with him on the So there's a game called Anonymous Agony, and the dude we were with is the guy who like actually made and directed the game and like coded it all, and he was with us for Pico Day 2019 alongside Johnny, and he came off to me at first like someone who's like in their late teens, because that's like just kind of like how he presented himself. Raph, he was a lot like you,
Okay.
but then it turns out he was like 29
Oh.
and he had 3 kids.
Oh. And then he also.
And then it turns out he was actually violating his parole being in Philadelphia for that event, and he was wanted. Like I saw like his rap sheet. He had like, you know, burglary, aggravated assault, child neglect.
That is a bit much.
So he was violating his parole, acting like a jackass the whole time, and acting like kind of a weirdo. And when I went into the, I remember Real Faction's like Johnny's like account. He uploaded a video showing some of the shit that happened, including like, well, like there's some weird stuff that was in their hotel room. That wasn't Real Faction shit. Like I walk into the bathroom and there are some things that are not very clean, and there's also just like a bag of drugs just sitting on the sink.
What was
it? It was like ketamine pills or something.
What the fuck?
Aww,
Like a
they left you a housewarming gift.
Just a bag of like
Okay.
drugs and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is all this shit? I yell at him to go clean it up. But no, like, I remember seeing the Mandalore video about Anonymous Agony, and like near the end he talks about it in like a really weird way where he's like saying it like it's some ancient piece of internet history, but like it was being worked on until like 2019, or like in like it fully released in like 2020. It was only like a couple years old at that rate, but he talked about it like it was like it was like something that can never happen again. It's like, no.
Something esoteric.
Yeah,
It's like, no.
he did a good video on like deconstructing it, but like that end part was just like really weird how he talked about it. Like it was he was talking about it like it was like fucking like You My Nikki or some shit, like some weird
It might have been
early 2000s
It sounds like he's
trash.
a bit out of touch.
No, he's pretty in touch with other stuff. It's just like that's like the only time in his video where he just says something really ill-fitting. Because I was literally with the guy in the hotel room as he was working on that game, like right there. And they even had like they even programming like a special thing for that Pico Day where they got new lines from all the voice actors all talking about, oh yeah, happy Pico Day, everybody. It was like the main character, I think his name was like Hayes, going around to all the different places in the game. It was like an RPG Maker game. He just goes around to talk to all the different characters. And I'm like, oh yeah, happy Pico Day. It was like that, just running around town. And I saw it. They're going to play it at Pico Day on the projector, but then they had like weird technical problems. Their Xbox exploded, so we didn't get to play Nightmare Cops. That thing really pissed me off because I'm still looking forward to fucking playing that, Tom. Where the hell is it? They're too busy making softcore porn with Friday Night Fuckboys.
It's terrible.
It's true. You know it's
Probably.
true.
I don't want to agree with you on stream.
Well, it's happening. It is true.
No, we're ultimate enemies, Josh. We disagree on everything. Ugh.
God. Yeah, the only way we can be happy is to disagree. But no, yeah, seriously,
What the?
I met the guy who made the game, and he was working on it actively while we were in the hotel on like a fucking really old like Windows Vista laptop, like a brick laptop, with like all the ports clogged up with grease and like Cheetos dust.
Oh boy.
I'm serious.
Wait, working on what? Nightmare Cops?
No, fucking Anonymous Agony.
Oh.
That RPG Maker game. Like literally the keyboard, like the HDMI port is like clogged with like a yellow substance that I could not ascertain.
God, it's terrifying.
So that was like really weird.
Did you touch the substance at all?
No, I didn't touch the computer. It also had like a bunch of like pornographic, like late 90s hentai stickers on it, which I found to be peculiar. Like again, if this guy was, I thought he was like 17, 18, so I'm like, okay, whatever. But no, he was in his late 20s.
That's a bit ick.
Yeah, I remember Real Faction released like a documentary, not documentary, but like you released like a giant Google Doc as you do, and had like his rap sheet on it. I think you can find it if you just look up his name somewhere. Yeah, it's just like weird shit like that going on. There's a lot of weird shit. Raffy Taffy.
Speaking of weird shit,
What's up?
TEG is asking, Jsoull, would you rather eat steak from a human body or take Joe Biden's life resource of vanilla ice cream?
Well, the life resource, does that imply like I'm gaining life from the ice cream? I'd rather have
No,
that
it's just
than... I'd rather
I
than
don't know
have
if
that
he
than just
worded it
committing
right.
cannibalism.
It might have been lifetime supply of like vanilla ice cream, but I don't know if it's like life force or not.
Well, if it has life force in it, I'd of course want some. Okay, so the poll
Mine
ended
doesn't
with
have that long to
objective
live,
results. 64% say yes, you should eat rotten meat.
You know what?
So Raph, I'm sorry, but you're kind of just objectively wrong, man.
You know what? You're objective. Yeah, but yeah.
You're just wrong. Period.
No.
Fuck you.
What if I say no right now, bitch?
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna.
Fuck all y'all.
I'm out of here.
Oh, you're fucking
Fuck all y'all, I'm
psychos.
outta here.
TEG is asking if Father from Dadness Combat will make an appearance.
I did have a plan for him to kill Gib 50 at one point, but then I kind of had a falling out with Gib 50. I'm not sure if I even want him in the movie anymore. I don't think he really
Well.
deserves that honor.
Shit, neither does Kelzad, but yet here he is.
Well, Kelzad, I kind of want to piss on the grave, so you know.
We should beat him with rocks when we're done. Ah, fuck.
Next time I go to Denmark, I'll hold his hand and sing.
That's not beating him with rocks. That's kind of homoerotic.
You know what would actually happen if I went to Denmark to confront him and we both agreed that we would have like a wrestling tournament beatdown? He would just disappear and he'd be off playing Rust the whole time.
Like you'd have like a fucking stunt double.
Basically, yeah.
Get his brother to fight you.
He would hire someone just using his like the pennies left he has on his Patreon. Some like homeless dude.
Breathe in penny, breathe out dollar.
How bad for the people who paid his Patreon.
I mean, one of the reasons that I don't have a Patreon is because the movies were already taken so long to make already. They just feel bad. Like, hey guys, want to give me more money and wait another year for this to come out? I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I feel like if you like if you have a Patreon open, you're accepting money to work on creating content. You need to be creating that content at least a decently regular pace. Like if I was being paid to work on Max 2 from the start and I didn't have it out already, I would consider that disgraceful. But since I'm not, then I think it's okay that I'm taking a while, even though I still feel really bad about it. It's just the project's kind of like exponentially gotten bigger. And also making money off of it would then incentivize me to release it sooner and just kind of like cut corners just to get it out to the people who are backing up my livelihood monetarily. And I don't want to compromise the project because of that.
Crossfire is asking if Gib fell out or just stopped talking in general. He hasn't heard about the dude in a long while.
Yeah, Gib just kind of disappeared. He, like, even after I stopped talking to him, he was still decently active. He was like working, he would like do miscellaneous animations, and I remember at one point he wanted to be a spriter for the Calamity mod, and I remember he paid like a shit ton of money on their Patreon so we could add Sokar as a name for the Witch Doctor. Like, cause as a really okay, like it's just something so stupid. So like the Calamity mod had like, you know, like Patreon role tiers, and one of them made it so you can add like anyone of the, like a name you want as an NPC name when they're randomly generated. And that's like really weird because just like adding your own name through random generation is extremely like piss easy. Like literally, just, it's as simple as adding a name to like a text file list, like that simple. And they're charging like God knows how many hundreds of dollars on that tier for it. And then Billy didn't even put in his own name. He didn't even put in his own name. He put in Kelzad's OC's name as a randomly generated Witch Doctor name.
I think he's just Kelzad's simp at this point.
Well, I would say so, but he's also
He
just
should
kind
hop
of...
off Kelzad's dick.
He also just kind of completely
snugged
disappeared. Like, I haven't seen... He doesn't even bother posting meme animations anymore on Madness Day. He doesn't even fucking bother. He's just completely gone. I haven't seen anything from him in years, and I haven't seen a message from him in years. He used to be a really cool guy to hang around. Like, anyone who was with him can vouch for the fact that he was really fun, but he just wasn't really good with hanging around the right people, and he eventually just kind of like disappeared. He always had severe motivational problems. I remember Kelzad telling me specifically, like, he was like beating Billy with a whip just so he would get out Madness Infiltration. You know, back when that came out. Shit, that came out like, what, 2018? That was so long ago.
That shit was good too for the time.
It was good, really good, yeah. But like the issue is like Billy just sucks when it comes to like sitting down and finishing the project, and he didn't really have an
That's
excuse.
everybody.
Well, no, he didn't really have an excuse. Like he wasn't going to school, wasn't going to college, he didn't have a full-time job. He had a part-time job working at a ski resort for like a quarter of the year, and then that was it. He just sat down all day playing video games. And because of that, well, we never got the finale. I remember I used to be on really good terms. I'll just clear this up just so it's on the record. Originally, he was going to make like at least one more cartoon, or maybe two more. The next cartoon after Infiltration was going to be following him getting captured in a truck, getting brought to like a cloning processing facility, and he's going to take it over and then make a whole new batch of soldier clones to assault the HW headquarters with. And then there's going to be one more cartoon after that where his army fights the Auditor's headquarters, like from Madness 10. At least that was the original plan he had. But
Gosh, how does this look so far?
you're never going to see it, so, you know, just want to let everyone know. Like, anyone who's a fan of Billy's stuff, that's what his series was originally going to end with. Let me take a look.
Yeah, 1 second.
Squid's asking, give your genuine suggestions to improve Flash right now.
Fundamental rewrite of all the code so it isn't fucking covered in leeches and worms. Because the issue is Flash is still built on the same base from a program over 20 years old. Like it's actually I think a little older than me.
I think I'm gonna get rid of this.
Actually check. When was the first version of Flash made? The first version of Adobe Flash was called Future Splash Animator. Yes, it was made in 1996. It is older than me. And it's still made on the same base that I'm using right now. The issue is, because Adobe's whole like model of pushing out like new versions every year makes it so they don't have the time, like they don't give their developers the time to do like the fundamental rewrite that's necessary to clean out all the gunk and garbage. So what ends up happening is they make a couple little changes and they add in a few features that aren't really fully fleshed out while everything else either stagnates or slowly falls apart. On a couple other streams I've done here, I've witnessed, like, I mean, you guys have witnessed some tools breaking down on fundamental levels. Oh, what do you want to show me, Rev?
Here.
I'm
just
watching,
doing
I'm watching.
Sword from the stone thing right now.
I like all the holes punched into the fucker.
He's got 1 foot.
I like that a lot.
A lot smoother than it could have ended up.
And then what's gonna
Normally
end up happening?
my
He,
thumb is-
like a worm, like a little earthworm wiggles out of his eye socket.
Well, we'll see. Can you figure that out right now?
I really wish I could put images in the stream chat. That'd be fun, but I don't think I can.
If you could, do you know what people would put in there?
No, I mean, like, I wanted, like, Dread, I would want you to make, like, cute little illustrations of, like, me eating a raw chicken.
Oh man, you're right.
Actually, can you do a quick little doodle of, like, Abaddon, like, taking a perfectly sized bite out of a living cow? Like it's a cardboard cutout.
Yes. Give me 1 moment.
I think that'd be adorable.
So I can do that. Do you want me to stream it?
Of course.
Lemon Duck is asking what everyone thinks of Undertale.
Undertale.
What a wonderful question.
You want to know about that fucking series, you little shit munch?
And Tuskazor is asking if anyone's ever played Mother Russia Bleeds.
Yes, and it's fucking phenomenal. But I will say
Alright,
about
let me run
let's talk
over
about
the
let's talk about Blunderblail because that's what everyone wants to hear about. I remember getting into it really late back in like early high school. It wasn't really my thing as much, but I liked it. I remember the fandom kind of creeped me out. There's a couple other kids that are like way too into it. And like way too into it, I mean like they had like weird sexual problems. Really bizarre shit.
Iconic.
Like incessantly talking about it nonstop. Personally, like I remember also hearing like Toby Fox kind of regretted making the game because of how out of whack the game community got. And
I
I
mean,
can't.
he also wanted to make Deltarune instead the entire time, so it's like, on top of having a product that he wasn't even really entirely satisfied with, he had people like fucking constantly posting and constantly like just doing all this shit with it.
Incessantly replicating and making more content, and it gets to like a threshold where you just get numb to it, or it just starts getting like brain frying.
Like,
Well, if you
it's
let
not
the community ruin things for you, then what does that say about your own faith in your own work?
very
Well,
true.
that's
I mean,
not,
he had very little
that
faith
don't-
in Undertale as a
that's not
product.
really valid though, Dark. I mean, like if the internet takes something and makes it into something completely different from what you made, I can't say that's entirely your fault.
I mean, you posted
Yeah, but
online
you go in
because you know
with
the
those
consequences.
expectations.
You don't. Well, he didn't go in with those expectations. He made the original series think it'd just be something fun for people to play, and ended up becoming this abomination.
Inherently, by posting something online, you acknowledge that what might happen to it one day will not be the prettiest, and you know,
It might just get bastardized. Oh well.
yeah, like it's up to you as a
Par for the
creator
course.
to still maintain your fortitude as a creator.
Wasn't that why
Even
Chuck
in the face-
Salomon is going to be copyright striking anyone who tries to make an FNF mod?
You know, as the creator, I don't entirely agree with what fucking. Wait, Chuck Salomon. It's the fucking.
Hylix.
Yeah, because I didn't know it was Chuck Salomon too. I thought it was only Mason Lindroth, unless they both are.
Well, they both work on it.
I mean, yeah, 'cause I mean like the fucking copyright striking.
So what's happening with Hylix? What?
Oh
So
no.
basically, Chuck Salomon and Mason Lindroth both decided to make it to where you cannot make any kind of fan game media to prevent people making FNF mods of their works,
Good.
and that makes it to where you can never make a Hylix fan game ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's
You could definitely make a
understandable
game that's like inspired from it, but not like a fan sequel thing.
Which is
Well, it's
kinda
understandable because
I feel like there'd be
it's his
if you were
intellectual
willing to
property.
make a fucking Hylix fan game and do like claymation shit. I think that's kind of insane.
Yeah, it'd be insane, but I can
totally
understand just wanting
understand
your
it,
own
though.
stuff to be yours.
It's an act of passion and more of an art piece than it is entirely a game.
I agree. What was that other question afterward? What we thought of like killing people?
Mother Russia bleeds.
Yeah, that's a fucking phenomenal fighting game. If you have the chance to play it with friends. Beat the shit out of 5,000 Ruskies.
And someone was also asking about the Alien Hominid reboot.
I have not seen anything from that. We went to the
Me
Newgrounds
neither.
headquarters. There's a bunch of cool alien hominid shit that I liked.
Oh, I love those little dudes. They make me smile.
Good,
What's
because
for
I
alien?
think they're an adorable design too.
Actually, I
They're
have some
what I would call
really,
small.
really old alien hominid sprites that I probably can't show on stream.
Why
That's
not?
those little shits got the
Well, no.
Castle Crashers.
The old alien hominid sprites, they look fine, but it's the other shit in the FLA that might get us in trouble. So.
What do you mean? Like you have
What do you
images of
mean?
women and children getting set on fire or something?
No, I'm pretty sure there's like someone just like took an image of a ball sack and turned it into a mana's head.
Oh,
So
Oh,
like,
that's awesome.
yeah,
that is
That's
so.
not hard to do.
That is
It's
so
really
exceedingly
simple.
it's
inappropriate.
not hard to do at all.
Dark, you say that as if you have personal experience making such disgusting things.
If you wanted to, you
I've
could.
seen it happen on accident.
Oh yeah.
What do
It's
you
like
mean?
It's like somebody makes the Madness character, someone makes the feet a bit too big so they're so close together, and then they realize what they've made, and then they can never unsee it.
Accidental
That's
penis is
so
accidental.
good.
I'm glad this
It's
stream
like
is smooth
it's
this
like
time.
Mr.
at least.
Zucchini Head from the old Family Guy episodes.
Oh no.
He's got stupid cool hip hop style with his Lolo hat and his Don Martens. And this is the best part. He dances. Oh, that's disgusting. I haven't had sex in 4 years.
Hey, Jsoull,
What?
I'm drawing him eating the chicken.
Good. That puts a smile on my face.
Motion Animations is wondering what you reckon is the oldest Flash game you ever played.
Oh fuck. Probably Line Rider. That's one of the earliest I remember. I remember playing Line Rider and a shit ton of like stick figure games on like fucking stickfigure.com. I remember there's like a couple Flash game sites. There's one called like blacksheep.com. There's one called like action games or armor games, I think. Congregate was another one.
Holy shit, Congregate. Oh my god.
I mean, it's a classic. You can't
Sorry,
say
just
you can't
reminded
say you
me
never
of it.
played on Congregate.
You made me remember that shit, brother.
Playing the OG. I remember playing some like zombie survival games on there, old Stickman, like fucking Hitman games. Flash games were fucking kick-ass.
They shouldn't have killed Flash. We could have thrived as a society. That's when societal downfall happened, actually, is whenever they got rid of Flash.
And when Adobe decided to be pieces of shit, like usual.
Yeah, we should kill Adobe.
I do think their employees need to be like brainwashed.
I think we need to save their employees.
The employees need to be brainwashed into making good content again.
We need to brainwash them into not sucking ass.
Impossible.
Sucking butt cheeks. Animating the ammos.
I'm finally here.
Holy
Hello.
shit! The Mexican man!
Oh, necromancer.
It's not necromancer, sex romancer.
It's Carto.
Once I gotta turn him down slightly. Okay, Necro, speak. Speak! Oh, now he doesn't talk. I see how it is.
This fucking, I'm using Discord on Opera, so it's limited.
On Opera?
Who gave you opera?
Yeah.
Who did this to you?
Myself.
I think maybe you're just a little stupid, dickhead.
Gave you that kind of brain aids. Anyways, here's the drawing you asked for.
Let me grab it real quick. Oh, yes. Oh, that's a lot more detailed than I thought. Jesus.
Sorry, I like drawing his fucking like mouth frying in half. I think that's the coolest part.
Can you draw my little wiener?
What the fuck?
My little, you know, the character.
You
person.
can't say that
I'll
shit,
draw your
Raph.
little wiener after stream, Raph.
Thank you. No, not that one. I meant the other one.
I know.
The character.
Or both of them, I guess. I don't know.
Thank you.
It depends on a mood.
Okay, fine.
It depends
fine.
on the mood.
So stubborn.
Winky at camera emoji.
Here's the illustration for all who want to see.
Winky at
Hey,
camera.
Raph, why do you look like this dog?
Stop! I don't.
Yes, you do.
Fuck off.
Dog harassment.
I'm gonna use the LeBron screen.
Yes, I love that, dude. I love the Freemasonry gif.
Oh yeah.
That's how I talk about games that I like.
Bastard. So, Necro, you back from getting those third-degree burns?
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I told everyone what happened with the oil, and we're glad you're okay.
That was a quick recovery.
Yeah. Now that Necro's here, we can show off the most unholy character ever designed in Madness Combat. Send me the updated FLA, Necro. Hurry!
Check your DMs.
Bitch.
You know what? No, bitch.
Bitchin' horn, bitchin' and horn.
I like the one where he's got his thumb up. It makes me smile. So stupid.
So stupid, so stupid. 1 second. I'm gonna make Chrome a window so it stops fucking untabbing everything. There we go. Jsoull stream. Why can't I make the window? There we go. Goodness gracious. MLG boy asks, "Hey Jsoull, what are you doing in this animation? Question mark, question mark, question mark. What is this about? Question mark, question mark." It's an animation
eyes and
where madness stops happening forever.
Come and see. Come and see, why don't you?
It's the equivalent of Crinkles opening up his front door and there being a Claymore mine. It's that abrupt. In case you're wondering.
Josh, what if you saw a little creature and it had little spikes on it like this?
Are you making those evil beans?
Yep, just one little tiny to corrupt everybody.
Let me switch the frame on this fucker real quick.
You need to make a little evil head for him. Guess I might make it small like a maggot, so it looks like a actual
Maggot.
parasite.
I finish animating this fucker.
Almost want to do like a weird little eyeball at the front.
One more frame, and I should be able to start doing it here. Let me take a look. Thank you for the file, Necro. Necromancer, your eternal name is now Sex Romancer.
No.
After six Master 28 disappeared. Now here he is! Here he is!
SM's still around, he just has a girlfriend now.
He does that, plus he's forced to work 24 hours a day drawing pornography. He's
Really?
drawn so many breasts. His wall, like he actually uses all the extra illustrations as wallpaper.
Eh, nice.
But yeah, we have fucking Pawat Wongworn in Maxification 3, the final Maxim. And he looks adorable, I love him. Necro, he looks so fucking cute with the smile.
Yeah.
It's so like disproportionate to the evil in the movie. Dread, aren't you so happy to see the design brought to life? Looks like you talk like a Muppet. Like a Muppet.
Yes, I am.
Why are you depressed?
Huh?
You're suddenly talking like you just like someone just walked
Oh no,
in and
I'm just reading something. I'm reading
Oh, I
something
see
on
how it
Subway.
is. Well, whenever you
Oh my
talk like
God.
someone just walked in and poured black paint all over your floor.
Shut up.
I love the fucking clip in the back on the pin.
Pin.
They really didn't have to go that extra with it, except God bless. Aw, it's the image in the corner. Aw,
Looks so funny when he's like this.
dude, the full of that image sucks.
Fuck you. Hey, wait, Necro.
Fuck you.
Necro,
Hey.
you need to add that. You only added like the little like the curve up on the cross to one of these angles.
Oh shit, I forgot.
Don't worry, it's a simple modification. Cry and scream, smash your
I
fist.
think we should melt his fucking brainstem.
Well, now we have Pawat Wongworn, who is the most powerful OC in Madness. He crushes
I had so much
Abaddon
fun
in his.
designing him. Can
Fuck
show
you.
Fuck you!
Bitch.
Whore.
It's like a domestic
Fucking
abuse case.
asshole.
Jesus Christ.
Also,
Fucking dick.
Raph, that weird like parasite thing's looking pretty fucking metal.
Would you let it in? Would you let it in? Would you let it
Yes.
in you? In you?
No, no,
Yeah, you would.
Yes.
that's
Yes.
gross.
I would.
Yes.
Necro, you got problems, man.
I would too.
I should draw an even more fucked up version of the chicken I made that literally just looks like a weird banana.
Call them cockadoodle machines. Well,
Absolutely.
Roosty's being nice this stream. He isn't screaming non-stop.
Hey, chicken, start fucking screaming.
He's home in the corner.
Actually, I did want to show you what happened last time when the chicken made cockadoodling noise.
Oh my god, is it the one I think it is where he just fucking lets out the loudest noise ever?
I have the image on standby because I think it's really funny. Just put it on stream. Because it looks so perfect as like a soy jack reaction image.
Oh, fucking speaking of what, Josh,
What?
I need to show you something.
Uh-oh. It sounds a little
Okay,
worried.
Okay, motherfucker. No, motherfucker. Look in the group chat.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. Let me take a look.
Do you
No,
recognize these
no,
fine
no,
fellas?
no.
Do you recognize our fine fellas right here?
I'll
Leo
put,
drew this last night.
I'm gonna put this on stream right now. I'm gonna put it on stream, and anyone who recognizes it will have their house disappear.
Fuck.
This is an illustration wonderfully crafted to represent what happened when we all met up. Can you guess which one's me? Who could it be? No, seriously, Raph, this is pretty funny.
I know.
I like how I'm drawing the back with a simple little smile.
You look like Heisenberg.
I do.
Yeah. Heisenberg without a bird.
Heisenberg on the verge of tears.
Heisenberg, Jesus. You made him look like a gulper fish. Looks so inappropriate.
It's like young Mike Ehrmantraut.
Oh my god. Come on, I don't look that old.
Don't you mean a gulper eel?
Gulper eel. Mike is like 99 years old. I'm only like 6 years old, so you know.
How old are you actually? 24?
6?
Okay. Are you 26?
No!
I was about to say, no, you're in your almost.
He's actually
30s.
3 years old.
I'm 3 years old, so YouTube
I know you're
should
only a
ban
little
me.
older than me.
This is actually a lab-grown.
Homunculi.
Homunculus.
Homunculoid.
Well, like from FMA? Christ.
Beware the monkeys.
The monkey. The monkey lie.
Also, hi, Dark Signature.
Hello, Necro.
Sex romancer. I'm seeing a metric ton of questions.
Yeah, y'all were kind of busy, so I just kind of let you tucker yourselves out before I add you more.
Give me more. Go
Okay.
back and give me every single one.
It was
Okay,
funny.
so Employer Visor is asking, have any of you played Flash games back in school when you were supposed to be working?
Of course.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And
What
there
the
was
hell
a
do
couple
you think
of
I was doing?
there was a couple of other suggestions of requests for opinions on certain games like Katana Zero and Naruto or Dragon Ball.
I
Classic
fucking
shonen.
hate Dragon Ball. I fucking hate Dragon Ball. I
Dragging
fucking
my
hate.
balls on Josh's face. Hey.
Someone was asking what people think of Five Nights at Freddy's and
Nights at Freddy's.
Do you want me to like hock a loogie right into your open mouth? Whoever asked that, I'll do it.
That's really charged, Josh.
That's very charged.
I go
Especially for you.
right in your fucking face.
A lot of
That's
energy.
really
Josh.
fucking charged.
I could say a
someone
lot worse.
else- Someone else was asking if there was a crossover between Madness and something like Bunny Kill or Stick Figures, and you were in charge of it. What would the plot be, and how would you make it?
Fuck.
Great question, because that's already technically been made.
Oh yeah, there's that one that was no, that was fucking. How the fuck could I forget?
I'd mix Thing.
Thing,
with
yeah, Thing
Madness.
and Madness. Someone already did a cute one of that. Where it was like stop motion. I really liked that last year. For those who remember, that was pretty good on Madness Day.
Shoutouts to all the old people out there who remember things.
Thing was pretty fucking great.
Everything was fun. Okay, I'm gonna give this guy a nice little evil eyeball.
Can animate this motherfucker. I do think that it can work in certain contexts. I'm not like actually I used to animate stick figures when I was like 11 on like a really shit old laptop. I used Pivot Stick Animator. And I remember
Just
like
the guy who made Sticks on Crack.
yeah.
Or I forget if that cliff was animated in Flash or not.
Was it not? We may never know.
True. I need to make this shiny somehow. Line up
Where's all the shiny shit, Raph? Tell me.
for an eyeball.
I love animating head turning animations. Next question.
Well, I already gave you the big ones.
Well, I know there's several more that we missed, and I don't know how to. I don't know how to answer the stick figure, or like bunny kill one. I mean, like, I would imagine you can make it maybe like one universe is invading the other, like the bunny kill guys have to repel like an AHW or Nexus and like interdimensional invasion into their universe. That could work. This is a simple idea.
Squid was asking if you liked the Half-Life Zero viscosity videos.
Zero viscosity? Talking like metalworking lubricant viscosity? We talking like testicular fluids viscosity? Like any more detail than that?
Sir.
I mean, you gotta be more specific, man. You can't just leave me like hanging like this with no information.
Specification is in order.
Well, apparently they were only recently brought to my attention after somebody showed me some clips from those.
Zero viscosity? Oh, is that one of the guys who does like the deep dives and like old like Half-Life shit? Is it?
I don't know. I only got shown pictures of those clips.
Zero viscosity. Zero viscosity. Half-Life. Oh, from fucking Alpha Bassa. Now he's doing this shit. The dude who's originally doing like the Emperor text-to-speech device is making his own little series now based in Half-Life. That's kind of neat. It's good to see he's still making shit. Because, you know, Games Workshop kind of walked up to him and they started dragging razors up and down his hands until he gave up. As they do.
You do.
You know, as they do. Actually, here's a good question for you, Darksling. What's your favorite kind of animation to do for, like, characters? Like, what's your favorite body parts to animate?
For what specifically?
For characters.
I mean, if you're talking about, like, Madness, I just like animating characters in general. I like working with characters more than I like working with backgrounds.
Yeah, backgrounds are what I like a lot. But I also like animating some characters when they got something interesting going on.
Speaking of which, I may need you to summon the Awes at some point.
I got to Wes the Oz.
You can probably just,
Yes.
well, Leo's super open to DMs. You can just like ask him.
I
I'm
can
sure he'll
ask
say
him
yeah.
for us if you need.
You're acting like he's
Because
some impenetrable
I need
wall.
him to do some dedicated special effects.
Like what? The scene when the ISO pulls out the IV drip on Crinkles?
No.
Well, then explain to me what you need.
I'm talking about bombs exploding.
Ooh.
And fancy smoke trails from those bombs flying across the hallway.
I see.
Sounds really fucking cool.
Sounds like a shot from Akira. Hell yeah.
It's even
I
gonna
got
have
Jackson
some
doing
special
some
3D
stuff for me.
spinning.
Spin. Oh yeah, I think I made Darksing like a model for that scene, if I recall correctly.
And since I'm already using a special effects pack that always made available to the public, it only seems fitting that he would make the dedicated effects.
Yeah, that fucker. Why would you ever want anyone to give you consistent effects for your movie? You gotta be like that Delanov guy who just takes everything from everyone else. You know who I'm talking about? Is that one Freakazoid? He made that
Josh,
one
speaking
animation
of
of was like,
effects,
what?
I finally have a effects pack that I can show you.
Oh, cool.
Have a look, and they're even labeled and stuff, so you know where to use them.
The
There it goes.
cockadoodler. Oh,
Very
sick.
good. Yeah.
Nice. I like the little spurty blood and smoke.
So I need to turn that to some.
I wish I could pet the little chickens.
Dread, if I gave you the bird, next time I saw you, you wouldn't have eyes.
I had a lot of
That's
fun
okay.
making these, Josh.
I don't
These are
need
fun.
them as long as I can feel them. It's okay.
I really like the bullet impacts a lot.
I don't need my eyes to pet you, chicken.
I need to work on these.
Exactly. You get a dark signal.
Look, this one's just a constant little spurt.
Hmm.
I had fun making these too.
Robot Gibbs. Pretty killer. I'll be back in a minute. You guys pick out any relevant questions in stream. In the meantime, I just need to go grab a snack.
I already picked out most of the relevant ones.
Relevant ones? We'll look at the ones where they're asking you to insert an earthworm into your ear canal.
It's funny how Squid's pointing out how he took a look at the texture map for Phobos on Project Nexus, and that was when Crinkle started using the auto mapper, which basically takes out most of the legwork for him, but at the same time makes the texture look like a complete mess because everything is
shit.
divided into tiny triangles. And with
Jeez.
Phobos, it is an absolute battalion of triangles. So anyone who goes in there to try and change the Phobos texture is in for quite a ride. Unless, of course, you have Blender.
Modders.
Oh, they're a wild crowd, but they're dedicated. That's what I like about them. And I know that they're still waiting on me to add some patches to Not Enough Madness because XDefault released it drunk, and he didn't run it by me before I got to test things. So now everyone gets to put up with oversized weapon models that are about 100 times the size they should be.
Sweet Jesus. This looks a bit bizarre.
I don't know how people are coping with that right now because it's been about a week since it got released without the appropriate patching. I don't know if XDefault has made the appropriate patches yet, but I'll probably be back to work on it after the 4th.
Fuck, I have to go to work soon again. God damn it. I hate working doubles.
Uh-oh.
Whenever Josh gets back, I'll let him know.
Let's see. Lemon Duck is asking me, what plans do you have after the mod in Cinemadness? Well, I do know there are at least 2 other Cinemadness ideas I have, but the real question is if I want to keep doing those in Flash or if I want to move to something more professional like Toon Boom. Because Toon Boom is scary for a lot of people who have spent a long time in Flash already.
Sexual discrepancies.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh yeah, Josh, I have to go back to work pretty soon.
Holy shit.
I know.
Guess Necro's gonna have to pick up the pace.
It's a changing
Necro.
of the guard.
Necro, begin to share your screen. I'll swap Rabs with yours.
No. Give me just...
Okay.
Actually, yeah, no, go ahead. I have like 10 minutes.
Hurry, Raph. Hurry. Oh, that thing looks so fucking cool.
I'll just wait. Wait.
Yes. I love him.
Just imagine how painful it would be for it to go back in.
Ow.
Ugh.
I should add some horrific gurgling noises as it's popping out.
Yeah, I'm not in charge of sound design. You will be.
Oh yeah. Almost forgot. I got a nice heated honey bun to eat. Someone just posted inappropriate content. I'm gonna have to kill them.
Certainly.
Delicious. Anyways, I'm now back, and we'll continue animating. Not sure about his head motion here. I might have to tweak it a bit.
Anyways, to wrap up my question, Prushy, Aaliyah is thinking Cinemadness 2 is not even out yet. Well, Part 2 will be. I just don't know when, but it is still on schedule. I just need to get Alwes to do some important things, and then the rest can be back in my hands.
Well, can you just animate the rest of it in the meantime, huh, Dark Signal?
Because I don't like leaving things unfinished.
Like me?
Yes, like you.
How I keep animating scenes even when stuff's unfinished, and when I have something that I need, I just move on to another scene so I can keep working.
And whenever you have previews to show to other people, it looks very hilarious.
Not really.
Yeah, yes, it does. Like,
Maybe you have some weird preconception of that in your brainstem, but I'd rather actually be continually working than, like for instance, right now I'm working on multiple different sequences. We got this in the museum sector. Then we have, I can open up the other one real quick. We have the transition from security to medical, which I've also been working on. It should be called like med to sci. Give me a sec. And then we also have the commercial sector intro with all the vehicles and shit I've been working on. Med to security. Med. Fucking Windows Explorer is so fucking horrible. There we go. Medical theater, medical administration. Where the fuck did it go? I guess the scene's gone forever. Sorry, guys.
oops.
Poof, there goes a month of work because Windows Explorer refuses to be able to search a word if it's within another word. Is this a joke? Abomination cells? Nope. Commercial hallway? Nope. Nope. That's not it. That's not it. Sort by date? Found it. It was buried in a folder full of old photos of smushed clams. I just wanted to bring this up as an example. I'm working on 3 different scenes right now, and I'm like waiting on effects for one of them, so I'm just working on the other one in the meantime. You don't consider working on another scene in subjugation while you're waiting a really long time for those effects?
No, because during that time I'm working on Not Enough Madness.
That mod's gonna kill you, though.
And only recently did I get the final set piece in back in May for New Game Plus, only for Swain to release a minor patch that walked everything back, and now everything had to be updated. And now everything needs to be updated proper because XDefault didn't let me proofread everything before he released it. In other words, he shipped it drunk, like the shuttle pilot from DRG.
Alrighty, guys, it's my time. I'll see you later.
Raph, we all love you.
Love you too, bud.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Alright, Necro, we're streaming you now. I guess me and Dark are just kind of opposites in that regard. Like, I just kind of keep working on it forever. No matter
We
what.
find ourselves to be opposites on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Lead design?
What, Dread?
This Brady's working on.
Oh yeah, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Look familiar, Dreadman?
Yeah, this is the design I did for Klee.
For
Long time
Klee Third, who disappeared.
early.
I haven't seen
He's
them
still
in
doing art. One
years.
time, actually, in this art fight.
An art
Yeah, you
fight?
haven't seen him because I, like, basically had to fucking, like... I had to, like, bloodhound track them down.
Yeah, and then you judge me, say, "Oh no, Jsoull, they're not gone. They're just hidden away completely and intentionally, so you can't find them."
Not really. You could literally ask at least, like, 3 or 4 people on the Max
I mean,
2
like, they're
team,
not
and be like,
active.
Yeah, I've talked to Klee recently.
They're not active in the Madness community anymore.
They've been doing spray work.
I have not seen a single thing from them in a very, very, very long time.
Well,
Last thing I remember
probably
seeing
the
was
most
like
recent
was like a
guns
heavy
breakdown.
weapons pack that included like a metal storm launcher.
I'm pretty sure they've done a few newer gun sprites since the last one, and I could probably dig them up for you from Resi. If
Like years back. I didn't remember anything recently.
no, like last year.
Last year, that's still a long time, Dren.
Not like
Man.
last year.
Only 18 months. You know how it is.
Not 18 months, like single digit months. Like 7, maybe 6. Okay, that's still a long time actually. Fuck, you're right.
Fuck you.
Explode. Just fucking detonate.
You're just gonna
Burn
have to
into
suffer.
a fiery crisp.
Why should I have to suffer when you deserve that pain?
We can suffer together. It could be like a bestie, like, bonding experience.
I see. Vertigome is in the stream. Hello.
Yep.
We greet you.
Is he? Oh man, there he is.
That's
Azure was
that's a
also
girl.
No,
as
Verdom's
was
also a
Insane
he.
Soldier.
A he, a she, a they,
Awesome.
a hazur, a z,
Yes.
a p, a poo.
No, Incy, I do not have an art fight. I just happen to know.
Didn't you used to do art fight?
No, I never did art fight. I do not like doing, like, mass amounts of art for people for free. That's how much of a greedy cunt I am.
Kuda29 is saying your music beat don't work. I can't see the new music.
Oh, it froze because it. That's one thing that sucks about OBS. It deprioritizes shit if it's tabbed out for a quarter of a second. Should be working now. All these songs, I
don't
fucking
worry.
hate Oblique Occasions because all the fucking titles are in wacky jappy moon runes and you can't read what it actually says.
It's kinda evil.
Evil? No, like no one,
Bill.
like unless you have a Japanese keyboard, you can't type out whatever's on here.
I mean,
Unless you want to use this
That's-
snipping tool and just save the titles and then just like brute force look for them later.
I could probably, like, I don't know, translate them.
Get tortured to death.
Do you
I mean,
speak
yeah, I was already
Japanese,
gonna
Dread?
get tortured. No, but I have enough people that I know that do that I could at least probably get half of that translated by the end
Too
of
bad.
the day.
Too bad. You die. Simple as that. I also saw
Uh,
Prushel asked, when Jsoull gets back, has there been any cockadoodle moments as of late? Oh, there has been. And there was one so bad, it killed a couple people. And I'm serious when I say that. I'm not playing around. What happened was I brought Junior onto the stream, and he decided he wanted to try to one-up his dad. And what ended up happening was probably one of the most violent things I've seen in my life. I'll show it on the stream, but when I do, just like user discretion's advised. He did this. He screamed into the camera at full volume. And just went like, just right in the fucking microphone.
I wish you would bring the chicken back in. That was my favorite part of your streams.
Oh, so you like birds, huh?
Yes, actually, I do like birds. I
What?
don't actually hate birds.
They shit on my
People
desk,
for some reason
they
think that I don't like
scream.
birds.
they scream, and they scream.
I'm sure there's IRL
It's
people
funny.
who do that to you.
It's funny.
I'm almost certain there's people that you've met that like do that exact same thing, including the shitting on the desk part.
Well, why would I want somebody who shits on my desk on my stream?
You kill them.
Just like that.
Yes. Yes.
Darn.
I accidentally stubbed my toe into my wall and I nearly fucking screamed.
I see how it is. So just as a quick example to show what I'm talking about. One moment. Oh, the stream really... Okay, so OBS really doesn't want me to bring in this image of the rooster. I'm not sure why. Let me try to drag him in again. Nope. Does this one work? Okay, so specifically the image of the rooster is just something that OBS really, really doesn't want. But I'm going to import it anyways because I hate OBS.
Good for you.
I just want to cause as much pain as possible, Dark. You know that. Let me grab him. There he is. There. So, like father, like son. I'm going to leave it to a vote. Which rooster has the best scream? The best kookadoodle? Let me make a poll.
We make them scream back to back until it literally like blows out your mic.
I mean, they would love to do that.
We should ask them to do that because they're cool. Free entertainment.
No, I don't want a yes or no. I want... Engage with audience. Oh, that's stupid. I can't switch... Okay, I can switch yes or no, alright. There we go.
Did you get it?
Now Roosty and Junior should be visible on stream. So now I made a poll question asking whether or not Roosty or Junior has the better face when screaming at the top of their lungs. I'm very curious what people will say. Danger, danger, danger. Oh yeah, I dragged in like a little like Barotrauma hologram map of our ship, the Excalibur.
You don't say.
And Dark
You know,
Singles.
I miss being on the Excalibur. I know
Nothing's
I have
stopping
been
you from
around.
coming back. You're just lazy.
Yes, there is. There is something stopping
What?
me. I can't tell you.
Tell me right now.
Sorry, you scared the shit out of me.
You know what else is gonna scare you? When I show up at your doorstep with a shotgun pointed at your chest. Now tell me the answer.
That's not that scary. That's not as scary as you screaming.
That's not scary. That just startles you.
Yeah.
Startled.
I was startled
us-
when the dog upstairs knocked over the neighbor's lamp.
You know, Jsoull, if you want to know where I've been, how about I show you? How about I just...
Uh-oh.
How about I just show you?
Hopefully it isn't inappropriate. What do you got?
I've been reading the same fucking visual novel for nearly 48 hours, and I'm not even done!
1 day, 23 hours, 12 minutes, and 14 seconds. Why? You better be joining tonight when we play or I'm gonna have to kill you. We need our mechanic, Dread. You want to know what happened with Scorepack last time? He plugged a fuel line into the engine and shoved it up someone's ass.
Okay, now I see that I need to get involved. I cannot stand by this desecration of the Excalibur. It's fucking
Desecration.
horrible. So when do we get the Caliburn?
The Calahoo?
The caliber.
We have the Excalibur.
We already
Where's
have the Excalibur. Fuck off.
Kill yourself!
Now. Why are you giggling like a fucking gremlin?
I'm sorry, I think it's funny. What kind of fucking exchange was that?
I don't know. Objectively, everyone says that Roosty is superior. I also agree. Roosty's expression, like, cause the thing is, like, Junior has an expression with his eyes where, like, they're always, like, a little bit shut. Like, he always has this angry look. But Roosty has these, like, big, wide open eyes. And they kind of, like, pop out from his head a bit. So his expression looks a lot more exaggerated. So I agree with the chat. Roosty wins. He does look
Forever
pretty...
and ever.
He does look pretty funny. Like, really fucking funny. I love him. See, I used to get annoyed whenever I heard, like, the cockadoodling, but now I just laugh, because I know every time he's making that noise, he just makes this face. It's pretty hilarious. I'll put you upper left corner. Christ. But, yeah, for those who don't know, we also mod Barotrauma. We got, like, a big item pack with a bunch of suits and shit. And we will be pushing our final update for that relatively soon. I've just been, like, teeth-shatteringly busy. I just got back from having to drink water that's contaminated with lead.
Oh, and you didn't share any with me?
Well, no, my
I know
brain,
you went
my
to
brain
Flint,
cells
but you
started to...
could've shared fucking souvenirs.
My brain cells started to die.
You know, actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, I kind of do miss sailing the ocean blue with Admiral Holt.
Goodness.
Fuckhead.
There was one time where I forcefully injected someone with gene modifications, and it became a horrific abomination.
Yeah, I was there for that.
That's pretty good. And there's a time where someone died by getting a plastic bag stuck in their head, and they couldn't take it off because I handcuffed them.
No question.
What?
Is Vertigum joining? Is
Yeah,
Scorpion joining?
Verticum joins us
Who else
pretty
joining?
regularly. I don't think they're going to join us tonight because they're currently going on like a huge vacation to the Antarctic. I don't think the guys have good internet there.
Ah, yes, of course.
But we'll see. Maybe they can. We also do have a new Verotrauma team member who Nempro started last night. More the merrier. More meat for the
No.
grinder.
Actually, I might be busy.
There we go. One sec. should be enough for this guy. That's like the core of his body animation done. Let me render this out real quick to see how it looks. We'll keep going from there.
Prushi's asking for a live Roosty cam in the future.
Like, you guys want like a camera out in like the actual like.
Roosty fan cam?
You guys want one like the chicken pen to watch the bird?
Abandon Jsoull dev stream. Embrace chicken cam.
Do you guys really want? I can grab one of them right now. I'll ask the stream. There we go. Should I grab a bird? Cockadoodle bastards.
Fried chicken.
I'm not gonna fry them, goddammit.
So sorry. I did it for you.
10 votes in the first few seconds, and everyone says yes.
See?
Fine, I'll go grab a bird.
Yes.
I'll go grab.
I'm voting yes.
Okay,
All of us
listen.
voted yes.
I'll go grab Princess. Princess. Okay, so that one time I brought the 2 baby birds in the stream, Junior was the one who was the meanest, and Princess was the nicest. So I'm gonna go grab Princess.
Aww. Vertigo shoddy.
Die.
I love Vertigo.
Oh, cool.
Flush
Vertigo's joining us. That's kick-ass.
Yep.
I love her.
They are a
Love-
great
love-
gunner. They've repelled unholy atrocities on many occasions. Yeah, Jesus, 20 votes in less than a minute. Okay, I'll go grab them. Give me a minute.
Yes, actually, they do play Project Zomboid. I just don't have a copy, so I don't join them, and instead I sit in the back and read visual novels.
grab you a copy. Too late. Bye.
You can just do what I do, Dreadman. Just deny the offer.
I'm not good at
That's what
denying
I did.
offers. How do you think I got in the Max 2 situation?
Oh, so you were just kidnapped and thrown in the back of the van and told to just make concept art?
Yeah, and I said, okay, this is fun.
I'm in danger!
Yeah, literally. Oh my god. I swear I'm normal. But no, I've taken up a
It's only
new
a matter
hobby.
of time before Jsoull gets a dedicated channel to his chickens.
Honestly,
and that
I
becomes more
would be
popular
happy.
than Max 2.
They actually find Max 2 as a result of the chickens, and not they find the chickens as a result of Max 2. Nullifying his years of work. That would be horrendous.
The chickens get more views than Max 2, and he would be heartbroken. But
I
at the
would be
same time,
heartbroken
relieved.
for him. That's so scary. You know, I used to not do anything, relatively speaking. I would just draw and whatnot. And then I, like, finally started doing visual novel shit, and it's really nice. Because, like, I already liked reading books, except I could never actually find, like, decent books, because I'm like, damn. This book kind of sucked. And then it
So
just
then you
pissed me
found the
off.
calling.
Like, have you ever read a book that, like, just completely pisses you off?
A couple of there's a book that Josh recommended that kind of pissed me off, and it's writing.
What book was it?
It was an SCP book. It was called There is no Anti-Memetics Division.
Oh.
It's like it started off good. It started off good, introducing us to the concepts of anti-memetics and different ways of how they can screw around with the world and screw around with you. But then it just kind of got a little too strange and a little too abstract, which I guess is the point of anti-memetics division. But then somebody had the gall to completely red tape an entire 3 pages of a printed book just to get a point across and give us absolutely nothing that was happening in the plot.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's like, why would you waste all that ink? Why not just take those pages out?
You could have made it like look like the fucking pages were ripped or like they were just like redacted completely. Like you could have done some cool shit there.
I mean, they did redact it. They drew black lines over all of the text.
You could have like made it look redacted in a different way that isn't red taping over 3 pages is what I'm saying. Like you could have
Yes.
conveyed that way better and just as effectively in any other way.
You hear them calling for their lost brethren. Yeah, case in point. Ah, okay. One bastard actually said no to the bird. Well, sorry, but you're gonna get a bird.
We can hear the boss from the distance.
He's angry because I took one of his. I took his pimp. All right, give me a minute. Let's make sure this doesn't turn on with like my face revealing my like skinless visage or my bones. Yeah, we hear you. God. What's that weird beeping noise? Is that from the music? Turn on camera. Alright. Sorry, Necro, but temporarily I'll be taking over this shot. To show the bird.
Okay.
There's Princess. What are you gonna say for yourself, girl? She's...
That chicken looks so fucked up.
What do you mean? What's wrong with her?
Oh no, nothing's wrong with her. I just think she looks funny.
Tell me,
I like her though.
Tell me what about this... Stop saying that word! What about her is
Her
evil?
head is shaped funny.
It's a bird. What do you expect? It's just a bird.
I don't know. I don't usually see birds that look that fucked up.
I mean, it's just a
I like her though.
Oh, you just... Oh, I see. You're just racist because she's mixed race.
Oh my god.
She is mixed race, and you're making...
Why that
You're
isn't it?
you're being so
Aw.
mean. See, look, now she hears Pimp Daddy saying, yo, where are my hoes?
You're petting her like she's a puppy.
Well, she kind of is to me. She's a lovely little bird.
Oh, I like her.
But sometimes she'll freak out and start flying all over the place completely at random. It doesn't matter how gently I pet her or how if I wrap her up in a blanket, she will randomly decide
So
I'm
she
gonna be a
just
bird.
goes evil?
She will randomly decide to attack me and slaughter everyone.
That's so kind of her, actually.
Little bird, little bird.
She's so pretty.
That fucking rooster.
Actually,
bird
I
is
lied
all
about-
fucking time.
I lied about her being fucked up.
It's just a bird.
I
What's
think
wrong
it's
with a
funny
bird?
how round she is.
She's very fat.
I don't know. I've never actually like touched or like seen a bird IRL.
You ever
except
poked a
for
bird? You ever poke a bird?
No, I've never touched a bird. I've always wanted to.
Look how much fat there is here. Look how much fat there is.
It's like a water balloon.
Basically, I feed them very well.
Sit.
And she's like, what is this? What's this thing?
I think it's funny how her neck moves.
I think birds are just really funny to look at.
Oh my god, she looks evil. She did an evil eye.
She gives the stink eye. Well, yeah, but she was on one of the OG streams as like a little baby chick, like that big, and she was like standing
Oh
right.
yeah, one of the
she's-
baby ones.
She's standing like right here, and then I think she's the one who shat right on the desk right here. So
Iconic shat bird.
hopefully she doesn't do it again, because that'd be not very nice.
You're holding her like a newborn.
Well, I love her. She I literally have raised her since she popped out of the egg.
Of course. I would expect you to hold her like a newborn.
And a fun fact, that fucking rooster. Anyways, so fun fact, she was actually born on my birthday.
Aww.
Like she hatched on my
She's
birthday
the birthday chicken.
alongside Junior. No, don't freak out, please. You're safe. Everything's okay. See, at random, if you don't squeeze and crush the bird, then she freaks out. If you hold them too lightly, they freak out. They're kind of like cats, where you have to hold them tightly.
They're kind of like cats. Least
Cats, but if
cat-shaped
they're like
creature
all
I've
look how
ever seen.
look, see how much fat's here. Look how squishy she is.
Why's she like that?
Look at all this. Look at all this fat. You see all this fat here?
She's just chill with it. You know, I always thought they just had really puffy feathers. I didn't know they
Well,
were just
they are
fat
puffy,
fucks.
but then she's also just got a lot of fat under there. Look, she's giving me the stink eye. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing poking me like that, huh?" Now she's really nice though. So she's half Egyptian Fayumi and half Silver Spangled Hamburg. She has the spots of the Spangled breed.
Violence has begun.
She's like, why are my feathers moving? Like she doesn't understand. Like she doesn't understand like physical causality. But she has the spots of the Silver Spangled breed. But then, I'm gonna fucking break that rooster's neck. I'm gonna break it on stream. Who wants to see that? Necro, you want some fresh chicken?
Yes.
Yes. No, but
That's scary.
then she has the patterns of the Egyptian breed and the posture. Like the Egyptian breeds have like a lot, like they're a lot like thinner and taller. They got taller legs, longer necks. And she's got a little bit of that.
Someone asked if you were naming a future rooster Richard.
That would be a good name.
I agree.
She's
The rooster
she's
kinda
admiring
goes hard.
she's admiring her reflection in the webcam.
She's so cute. That's evil. She's giving the evil eyes.
Look how funny she looks. It looks ridiculous.
She's gonna fucking peck the camera. I love her.
I do think this bird is kind of funny.
I think that bird's kind of fucked up.
Kind of fucked up. Are you implying that this bird is anything but like the spawn of Satan?
Fucked up,
You
evil.
realize what this thing does to
disastrous.
people, right? I mean, look at it. It's all fucked.
That thing's actually like a it's
Now,
that thing's a domestic terrorist device.
I destroy the bird by crushing its head in my fist.
I love this creature. I love how their necks move. It's so funny.
Next time I bring on the bird, it'll be Junior, so you can see how both the siblings are doing.
Junior just fucking screams his lungs out into the mic.
It just goes. Like right
You know
in
what
the
I'm
camera.
thinking of? I saw this video beginning once, and I thought it was like a wriggling potato, like an unclean potato, because its head was so fucking small.
Really?
I need to find it. Like I saw this thing and I was gobsmacked.
I see how it is. Princess is an evil, cruel little bird.
You're right. That bird is fucked up.
I do think it's kind of funny when she looks around the camera. She's like, what is this thing? What do you think she's thinking?
I think
What-
she's thinking of different ways to kill
Most
people.
inquisitive.
What's going on inside that empty head?
Here's this fucked up guinea bird. Like, look at how small their heads are. They don't look real.
Well, sometimes you see birds and animals that are a little strange. You know, just
Have you seen
little-
Spoonbird?
Who?
There's this really fucked up image of a bird, and we call him Spoonbird.
I see how
I
it
need to
is.
find the Spoonbird. Alright.
Is everyone on the stream enjoying bird time? Some people are
Is
saying
your
they're the
pig-
best bird ever made.
The best bird of all time.
Someone's saying there's nothing but static, but no one else is bringing it up, so I don't think it exists. Squishy bird. Tell Princess to hit the gym, yeah, because she's fat. Fat and ugly. I say fugly. Finger looking good. I do think they are quite humorous. Now, actually, Dark Signal has a very dark history with these birds. He hates them ferociously.
No, I don't.
When Dark Signal stayed at my house 16 months ago, the rooster snuck up into his room, he stuck his beak in Dark Signal's ear canal and cock-a-doodled at max volume. Yeah, like that.
Just like that.
And Darksingle was so traumatized by this event that he refused to ever come to the state of Alabama again. How'd that sound, Dark? Accurate?
It wasn't Alabama.
Ow. She's pecking me. She's hurting me badly. If he does that one more time, I'm so sorry, Princess. She's being traumatized. She's being traumatized by all this noise. No, but really, that rooster's a big bundle of joy. Like, Darkson, that rooster loves you, even though he was cockadoodling nonstop specifically to cause you pain.
I don't think he loves anybody. It's a rooster. It roosts.
You don't think Princess likes me?
I have to wonder if Princess even knows where she is right now.
Well, she should recognize where she is. She's been this... I'm gonna grab the rooster. I'm gonna hold him like this. Then I'm gonna give him a squeeze. That's what's gonna have to end up happening because of all this nonsense. But Princess has been in this room before, so she should recognize it, and she's... Okay. Okay, I see how it is, Roosty. You're just gonna make that noise non-stop, huh? Every 30 fucking
Loudest
seconds.
motherfucker ever.
Every 30 seconds for the rest of my life. He's gonna make that noise again and again and
You're
again
gonna hear
and
the
again.
nightmares.
You're gonna hear it after Roosty's gone. It'll never leave. You will be the rooster.
He did it again. Princess, what do we do? What do we do? Even she's scared. Oh, Princess, I'm so sorry. Should I go grab Roosty and break his neck on stream?
No, you should let him live.
I see. Prushel asks if I have opinions on Berserk. I think it is one of the best, darkest, cruelest, and most intricate stories ever put to the ink. I do have some very minor gripes with the latter portions of it, and now Miura's team's taken over, and it's been moving at a pretty good pace. Berserk's artwork and storytelling and characters are some of the best in the medium, but at the especially before they got to Elfheim and at Elfheim or whatever, there was so much filler content taking up precious time that it kind of started to be a little annoying. Like the whole thing with the pirates was completely unnecessary. The trip to the island was cool, but all in all, not really that consequential. Stuff like that. And adding in a bunch of filler comedic characters that don't add anything to the plot.
Bunch of clowns.
Yeah, a bunch of clowns. And having chapters dedicated to Isidro stealing panties instead of, like, Casca, who we've been waiting to come back for, 30 years. Stuff like that. But now that the team, now that his team's taken over, they're just doing, the Cliff Notes version of the story, basically. And they're, it's got a really fast pace, which I kind of prefer. Because we've been kind of, walking in circles. I mean, there's the infamous time when basically Guts was stuck on that ship for 10 years because we were waiting 10 years from the chapter he got onto the ship to the chapter he got off. 10
Just
years.
like how we were waiting for Hank and Sanford to get down the ladder all the way to MC11.
Yeah, it was basically like that. So then for them to get off the boat and then be met with even more filler, it's wow, okay. There is some really cool stuff that happened in Alfheim, but there's also weird filler chapters that really were unnecessary. I really like the sequence when Shirk and Blonde Bitch went into Casca's memories. That was really cool. Great imagery. I'm just happy that this series will be getting its proper completion. I think Princess wants to go back with her people. She's royalty after all. She wants to go see the queen. She's freaking out because she's oh no, where's my pimp? I need my pimp. That's why she's being so silly.
She's not even making noise. What's she doing that for?
I don't know. It is kind of hot in here though. I don't have the air conditioner on, but then again, she is outside. It's not any hotter in here than it is out there. I'll bring her back to her family. Does anyone on stream want to give a final goodbye to Princess?
I love you, creature.
Notice how Roosty was such a fucking disaster, but then Princess is just nice and sweet and soft the entire time.
because she has actual royal etiquette and she isn't a fucking animal.
Animals, you say.
Sorry, I think she looks funny like that.
Bird. You can see how long their necks are when they do that.
I didn't realize their necks were that long, I'm gonna be honest with you.
There's been a fucking heat wave coming through here. More of that wildfire smoke Canada's hitting my side of the country.
Jeez.
And like outside, it's like a thin layer of fog everywhere for the last couple days.
Are those little dudes safe?
They're safe last time and they're safe this time. We're in an area that's got a slightly higher elevation, so it's not as bad.
Oh.
If it gets to a point where like their health is very visibly being impacted, I'd probably bring them inside for like a couple days in the garage or something. I'll be back.
One of my friends hasn't been able to walk his dog because the fucking
And I'm getting a
the
phone call. Give me a
Canadian
minute.
shit is so bad.
Hello.
What, you're getting that too?
No, I live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere so far out that not even smoke wants to bother me.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering. It's like, how can that be a problem for you?
For me, it's not. I mean, one of my friends from Michigan. He's been forced to stay inside, and he said that like the sky's been like not blue for a very good while now, like a good week or two.
Ours has been white.
The sky over here is.
You would think that it's an overcast, but instead it's just burning.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, one of the few things living in the South is good for, I suppose.
Except it's just even hotter down there and is prone to catching fire. Up here in the north, it's fine. It's just that somebody else is on fire, and we have to smell that. But today is the first day that it is not hazy now, so I would assume that things are back under control over there.
I will say though, it's been unnaturally like really fucking warm. Even for the summer, it's been like the temperature's like frequently like fluctuating.
We have not had that problem up here, actually. It has actually been comfortably colder than usual. Although maybe that's just because the season shifted and it doesn't start feeling like summer until the month after. August has moved into September, December has moved into January. Here in South, we've reached over 116 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I imagine.
Oh jeez.
I imagine places like Arizona rapidly becoming a desert are just very inviting for everybody. Can't imagine how this place is gonna feel in 5 years. Before you know it, the equator's desertification expands all the way to the poles. I think the rooster agrees.
God bless.
The rooster calls for the problem to be fixed, but no one will heed it. The rooster is displeased.
a little quiet right now. I'm just kind of like thinking over a ton of stuff. You know.
Nothing worth sharing on the stream, I suppose.
Not really. It is unfortunately nothing worth showing that's fun. It is about the equivalent of social paperwork. It is far less exciting than what Necromancer is doing right now.
And he's making Pawat Wingworm as a part of Max Tombs. And who is apparently his latest project is including N51 in his works.
God bless Pawat.
Yes, well, a lot of fans are not pleased.
Very sad.
They have even gone as far to go onto his own stream and start harassing him about how he's not doing it right. And I think the whole point is that he's not doing it right.
Okay, just got back. What'd I miss?
Oh, we
It's
were
as
just talking
Jsoull
about-
says, you tell someone to stop and they just keep going.
Well, what's going on? I'm like, what'd I miss? What babies exploded? Tell me. Can you guys not hear me?
Huh?
Hello?
Oh,
Knock knock? Dark signal? Knock knock? Necro? Dread?
I was disassociating, I'm sorry.
Well, I asked 2 questions and both of you acted like I was a ghost, so I don't know what's going on.
No, it's not that, I have a lot on my mind.
Alright, well, Dark signal, what's going on? Tell me. Okay, I guess I don't exist to Dark signal. That's good to know. I really like it when I walk in on a conversation and everyone just stops talking. That's a good feeling.
Not like that.
Well, it's definitely what it seems like now. I don't know why Dark suddenly stopped talking.
I was kind of just talking about how I'm basically just going through stuff looking for stuff for people. It's not really anything exciting. And we're
Looking for
talking
stuff
about,
for
like,
people?
whether
What do you mean, like
Netflix-
finding collectible stickers?
I fucking wish.
Well, what are you looking
I
for?
wish. Someone wanted me to find an old post by a person, and I was grabbing it for them.
I see. So you're just digging through old internet bullshit.
I mean, yeah, but also it's kind of just old art people have done.
Oh, I see how it is.
You know, I am by nature an archivalist.
Hmm.
It might be hard to believe, but I do just enjoy archiving art.
Well, I think archiving things on the internet is pretty important given the fact that a lot of old sites that used to host content are just bit by bit getting rid of everything. I remember what happened to PhotoBucket where they put a fucking like watermark over everything and made it so you can't see images anymore, and it destroyed a bunch
It's
of
not
really
even.
it destroyed a
even like you
bunch of
get to
old
watermark
archived content.
images.
It was so bullshit.
I would not at all disagree that it is very bullshit. Also, I think Dark Signal just like had to go
Died.
do something because he just completely went offline.
Well, that's how that goes. Well, what was he talking about?
We were kind of just talking about like, I don't know.
He said something about like
That
someone
it
showing
was-
up on a live stream to like harass them, but what's that about?
I actually don't know.
Was
Oh, we
what?
were talking about fucking Pawat Wongworn and how people have been like harassing him about N51 shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's. Yeah. I didn't think it was significant enough that it would, like, matter.
Also, Dark Signal, it's all your fault. You've been bullying this 29-year-old man.
But no, it was nothing crazy. It was just that. I didn't see it as something that would be terribly worth mentioning.
Terribly worth. Well, here's Pawat right here.
Pawat? I love that little dude.
The sprites, Necro, you did such a good job. They
Oh,
look
there
so
he is.
cute. They look
Hi,
so
Darkseid.
so cute. Oh, Dark's back?
Apparently.
Well, what the hell? Like, literally, as soon as I show up, you stop talking like someone wrapped a Garrett wire around your throat.
Hey,
I don't even
Jason.
know when you showed up because I just got disconnected.
Well, now you're here.
So,
What were you talking
stream.
about, though?
What was I talking about?
We were
Fred,
talking
you would
about
know.
Pawat and, like, people showing up to his stuff and, like, talking about
Oh
how he's
yeah,
fucking
I was saying
51.
I was saying that when people caught wind of the fact that he was introducing M51 into his works, it's like a lot of my fans came up and said and started harassing him because he wasn't doing them justice. And I was saying I think that's kind of the point. I think that's the whole reason he's doing it in the first place.
Because he just wants to piss
get-
off. He wants to piss off all the paramilitary wannabes who love N51.
At worst.
If a bunch
At
of people,
best, I think he's just doing it because he wants to.
maybe he's like taking
So
out
anyone-
rage.
So anyone who's going over there to tell him not to do so, that's just going to encourage him to do it. That's your entire philosophy, Jsoull.
Yeah, I think it's
Tell
kind of
someone to
funny.
stop,
Maybe I think
they
maybe
just keep
he's
going.
I think maybe he's doing it because like how hard their mission was, and he's just doing it because like, see, look, we can kick their asses.
He's
Look at
just
me
doing
piss
it
on
out
them.
of spite.
Yeah, basically.
He's doing it as a means of encouragement to other Project Nexus players.
Project Sexist, more like it. Right, I guess that guy's done. Let me check the render. That's almost done. And this room's fucking complicated, and I gotta do the backgrounds. There's a lot of shit. Like, I've hidden, like, almost every layer because it runs so slow, even with just, like, a dozen open. There's, like, a dozen more bodies here and things, and it's weird. There's actually gonna be some really cool decorations in here when this is done.
You don't say.
I still love this little setup with the MC1 tree in the grunt. The little, like, they're held up like little cardboard posts. I think it's just a little funny.
Just a little.
It's humorous. And we even got the old sign. Take a peek at the past. Someone didn't like that sign though. Can't wait to do all the terminal screens and crap. Okay. So Dickhead McGee's done. I do need to.
Oh my
Any-
god, Jsoull, I wanted to tell you something so cool that happened. So
What?
sorry to cut you off.
What happened? Tell me.
So I had a client. I did a piece of art for them, and I only was charging $55. And they liked it so much that they tipped me, and I got $67 out of it. And I've been so happy about it.
So you've been doing quite well for yourself then.
Yes. I've been paying off dues to people that have lent me money for various things.
Congratulations.
I'm
You-
sorry, I'm still so excited about it.
I was just gonna say congratulations, you won, but now you make me want to say like I hate you. I'm unhappy that you're living a good life and that you're getting some money. You deserve to be poor forever. That's what you expect.
Congratulations.
That's
You've
what you
been
expect.
selected to receive 2 free iPod Nanos.
Yeah, those fucking things. I remember I got one of those on Cinemassacre.com once when I was like 6. Okay, give me a sec. Ah, shit, give me a sec. Should be able to paste the frames and have it not break. Did I paste the frames and have it not break? Hard to tell.
Insane soldier that Dreadman's bringing home the Breadman. So now you should be named Breadman.
Dreadman, didn't you make bread once?
Yes, I did actually, and it was really good. It was a nice little dessert loaf almost. I also make coffee cakes and pastries. I make fucking everything. I love baking. I suck ass at it, but I love baking.
I like making
I
pumpkin
love
bread.
making
Pumpkin bread's pretty fun to bake.
Oh, dude, I love pumpkin bread. Oh, God
Lemon
bless.
Duck is asking, what would Ammo do if Hank was still alive and kicking? And I think my response to that is that's probably the reason why he isn't.
Yeah. In the beginning of Max 2, like for Commencement, I'm gonna be I'm not remaking everything in Commencement, but I'm touching it up visually. I did want a few more shots in the intro to kind of like set the stage for what happened in between 10 and here. Dark Signal, I think I told you some of that.
Yep.
It'd be pretty fittingly atmospheric. Let's just say that Hank, we don't have to worry about Hank anymore. They did something to him to make sure that he can't come back. And they were very thorough. And I'm... What? You just Jared, you just reacted like you dropped a rock on the ground. Fool. Anyways, I'm contemplating whether or not I want to have Hank in the finale. At first I really wanted to, then I really didn't, but then I got some good ideas, so I don't know. I might. Depends on a couple factors. Okay, so we're gonna grab this guy. I'm gonna grab it so this layer and below gets removed. Cut frames.
Actually, Alvatic, we don't know if Hank and Sanford are dead. We just kind of see them float up from the tar, and they're just kind of floating face down. Doesn't really mean that they're dead.
Yeah, because when you see someone floating face down the water, they're obviously alive. Yeah, Dark, isn't that right?
I mean, sometimes.
I think we have different expectations for human survival.
Yes, well, Hank is not human.
I call him Hanky Spanky.
Hanky got spanky.
That sounds like Freddy got fingered. It does.
I'm sure.
Heckler and Koch, G11.
But also remember in one of the posters that they were saying that maybe I'll let you live if you get rid of this fucking clown.
As if he's gonna let Hank live. That's a bold-faced fucking lie. He would never, ever let that happen.
That is a bald-faced lie.
It's actually true. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, yeah, I hate fucking making it so people have to swap layers. It's so annoying. But I got it. There. So unfortunately, Parody Madness 1 gets cancelled because this guy died too early. I mean, we're in the museum here. You're going to see like recreations of the original characters and some landmarks from the series, but it's also to very clearly show that what happened in the original series is like ancient history. Sort of the same way that we look back on the Revolutionary War, that's how they look back on what happened back in 2003. Isn't that a funny way of looking at it, Dark Signal? 2000C.
I mean, arena mode is ancient history to frickin' story mode, or at least by 30 years.
30 years ain't ancient. Oh, Necro started on the glasses and they look very sexy. Make sure to make them look so fucking badass, even Gon doesn't know what to do with them. Okay, maybe that was a little extreme. I formally apologize.
I know you'll do them justice. The idea was that they slant it where the bridge of the nose is, and it's like, I would say almost you should make them more like shaped at the top, just barely. But also you could put like a frame on them, like some fucking Auras Maxi shit. Oh, hold on. 1 second, bestie. I need to show you this pair of glasses that fucking I think about all the time.
1 minute.
I think they're cool.
1 minute. 1 minute. Someone's asking.
Okay.
Someone's asking me. Oh my god. Any Hollow Knight rants? Hollow Knight. You want to know what I think of Hollow Knight?
Here we go.
I think it's actually pretty good, but I do have a couple issues with some of the rewards you get for doing the most hardest shit in the entire game. I beat the Path of Pain. I beat the Coliseum of Fools, and the rewards for both are garbage. Like garbage for completing one of the hardest platforming challenges in a modern action platformer. You get literally nothing. Oh, sorry, you get like a 3-second cutscene with a couple frames of animation, and like a little log in your journal, and that's it. How about a new custom outfit for the knight in white armor or something, or a particle effect, something, anything, to show that you actually did it, instead of just a little notch in the fucking notebook. It's stupid. And the other thing, Coliseum of Fools, that reward's like kind of, it's not really that good. I expected to get like a new custom made fucking nail or something, or some other special ability. A custom fucking notch. Something, anything. But no, you just get like one of those little bits of metal to upgrade your sword, and then just a bunch of money, and that's kind of it. I consider that to be a little poopy. And Necro. I think that's stylized. I mean, the general. I do like how you split the grading on that. I think that could look pretty good. We're not gonna add all like the light streaks and shit. Because remember, this person is a weirdo. I do think you matched the color pretty well.
I think the fact that you didn't do the exact colors but did like relatives that look just as good makes me really happy.
Relatives.
Then again, I always trusted that he would do some fucking cool shit with my work.
Team Kakma.
I
Alright.
guess most of all what I'm saying is that I trust him with my work in the first place, Smiley.
I see, I see.
I see, said the blind man. To his death wife as he picked up his hammer and saw.
Sineth says, hey, I just came on the stream. The sword holding guy looks like Delamortes. Is that his OC? Yes, that's the guy he used in Paradigm Madness 1. And just so you guys know, that's not the actual binary sword. He saw it sitting on like a little display. He's like, oh, I'll take this in this one of the most important weapons in the history of mankind. And he honestly thinks it's the real thing. Imagine if you walked into like a Christian church and you found a little Lance of Longinus display and you thought it was the real thing.
I wish I had the fucking Lance of Longinus. I'd be pissing myself in joy. That thing's awesome.
Well, this
I've
guy...
never seen a fucking uncool depiction of the Spear of Longinus ever. And if I have, that's not real. I don't see it.
Well, unfortunately, this guy thinks that this binary sword's the real thing, sitting completely unprotected on top of the stand. But it's fake. He gets shot. He's like, okay, please, if you let me shoot you in the throat, maybe I get to win. And he just gets shot immediately, because why wouldn't you? I just got done animating the Kamamo for the rest of his scene. Dark Single's favorite design in the movie for ammo is also the Kamamos.
It's true. There's some good looking folks.
They're the favorite design that I've ever made. Pew pew.
Especially ever since that artwork came out where they will amputate somebody's limbs.
New policy for dealing with Malevolent originals. Let me show that off. Oh yeah, and just to set the stage in case some other bullshit happens later, I made the design for the comm ammos. I did work with this other guy, this loser. Actually, Dark, should I talk about the losers?
Up to you.
Okay, basically, I did want to make reference to this before Madness Day comes around. Armage and Overtry took like a metric fuck ton of my stuff and outright stole it and copied it, and they're using it to make their own movies. If you've seen Intrusion, you already see a lot of that, where half of the movie isn't his. Like, almost all the weapon sprites are mine. He traces some of the background elements. Some of the choreography is identical, and like shit like that. And he made that back when he was still on the Max 2 team, and I found it kind of annoying, but I didn't have too much of a problem with it, until it turns out he was also funneling all the content from inside the server to Overtry, explicitly for him to copy and reproduce. And that was not a fun thing to have to deal with. And it sucks because Overtry is like a really talented guy. Like, I've seen his work and he does fantastic sprites and concepts, but like, it's hard to appreciate that when it's explicitly done just to try to like write off of my work, to try to build his career, which feels weird and unnecessary because he already has talent, but he for some reason just deems it necessary to have to take everything that I did. I don't think he's doing it anymore. At least last I heard, the movie he's going to be coming out with no longer is like the Max 2 at home shit he was going to do, which is good, but like, I kind of can't trust him as like a content creator anymore after all the shit he leaked. And I found out about that because at random, Armage leaked a bunch of his shit into my server as reprimands for like him constantly leaking the shit I was doing. I don't mean just like screenshots. He was handing over like the actual source files for sprites right over to like Overtry's server. So not only just Overtry, but the other people he was working with also got these sprites and shit that weren't supposed to be released. And I saw that Armage was making new enemy designs based off of ammo soldiers, just using the design one to one. And I just wanted to bring this out into the open to let you know, like, that is like none of that is with my approval, and all of it's stolen. So, just a little PSA for you guys. This is some of the shit I've been having to deal with. Isn't that a fun piece of history, Dark Signal? Beautiful,
Man, it's
full
not
of joy.
really history if it's recent, as you said.
Well, that was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. Like another example is Overtry released that like weird turret animation test thing, and that was made after I was working with like actually that happens in this scene here with a turret. Like a turret comes up and it unloads onto the characters here, and then they catch the bullets. And I had this scene planned out for about 2.5 years, and I talked about it in the server a lot with CRISPR, and then Overtry suddenly comes out with an animation test explicitly with the Nexus turret coming out of the ground and firing bullets, which is exactly what I had
Exact
planned.
same angles.
Yeah, same side view and everything, so it's like, oh. Well, it's flipped on the x-axis, but it's still like just the same
You
thing.
got yourself a mole.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. So when that came out, I thought it was kind of suspicious and weird. I thought it looked cool, but I was like, oh, that's a little too similar to what I was doing. And then, you
You're right.
know... What, Dread?
Be right back for a moment.
Alright. That happened and that kind of sucked. I mean, again, he did a good job making it, but like, I kind of can't enjoy something that's explicitly made just to try to take what I did. And since then, we've just had like a really passive-aggressive relationship. And then he got really angry at me for I think I showed it on stream. It was that one shot where the Delta, it's like the first-person shot of the Delta crawling through the vents. If you remember that, Dark?
Yep.
In the transition to the museum sector. And I remember like when I made the post about that Overtry, like blew up in my DMs, like, what the, you fucking steal my shit, you fucking asshole, why are you stealing my stuff? And I'm just completely dumbfounded. Like, what do I say to something like that? I'm stealing his ideas after he took all my sprites?
Man, just tell him that. That's not hard.
I did, and that didn't really seem to do anything. It's just really weird. Like, he habitually had all my content funneled to him and was explicitly trying to make a movie specifically just to outdo what I'm doing based off stolen content. And then he complains that my scene is a little too similar to his. I needed to get this out in the open just in case whatever he does release this Madness Day ends up being a bunch of scenes from Max 2 just remade in a different way. I just need to get that out in the open, just like on the record. He stole a metric fuck ton of shit. And I also have a bunch of shit that Armitage leaked from his project to mine, but that did not happen at the same time. That happened after he'd been leaking it for a year, and then suddenly Armitage dumped like 100 images on my server. I'm like, what the fuck is all this shit? And then he left. And then he also deleted a bunch of it before he left, but Shoot the Cheese saved almost every image. And he does have some cool concepts and stuff, but again, it's kind of like, I can't really appreciate for what it is. Which sucks, because like in an alternate...
Shows up, drops it, content dumps, refuses to elaborate.
Basically. I mean, in an alternate universe, me and Overtry would be working together to make the best Madness movie ever, but we're not in that universe. Yeah, Casper does some more bullet tricks here. He compresses all of them to projectile and then fires it. Goes pew. So I'm working on this scene. I'm working with Always on some effects here. And we got the commercial scene here. Because what I'm currently trying to do is complete the transitions for commercial, security, and medical. And then I can package up all that and hand it over to our soundtrack guy. And we already got the OST done for Meat Sector and Residential. So now we're going to have the OST for the museum, security, and medical. So we'll already have 5 music tracks, at least by the time all this is wrapped up. Which I'd say is pretty good. And then once all the transitions are done being worked on, I'm back to commercial sector. And after commercial sector is the throne, and then the finale. And I've been working a bunch of assets for the throne recently with a couple guys. And I'm liking how they're coming along. Just like how I like how those glasses are looking that grow. They look like something a fucking dweeb in the 80s would wear. I'm serious. I'm serious. What are some of these questions? How many years are you gonna give this project until it's done? I mean, so like, here's the thing. When commercial sector's done, we're in the final stretch. Like, cause then it's just the throne, then the finale, and that's the end of the movie. Cause we're already.
You're saying that like the finale isn't going to be a 10-minute adventure.
I know, but like but then that's the last one. Okay, listen. We got commencement. Just needs some visual upgrades. I'm not like making any ridiculous modifications to that. I am redoing the party scene, but that's not going to take long because that's not anything technically intensive. That's just more like traditional madness room shooting. We're done meat. We're done residential. I'm done museum. What's so funny?
We're done, meat.
Fuck you. We're done meat, residential, museum, security, medical. Those are all like really massive undertakings. Commercials next, and after commercial is the finale sequences. And that's when shit gets pretty crazy. That's when like you look up into the sky and the sun blinks at you.
I feel like the finale is when you get the craziest.
Yeah, it will be. That's when Kelzad puts a.
I think you're seriously underestimating how long that's gonna be.
It's probably gonna take years. Not actually years. I'm kidding. Okay, my current estimate is I'll be done commercial sector by the end of this year, and we'll be working on the finale from there. And just to like set the stage here, the film is already like 30 minutes. Like our footage is already collected like at 30 minutes. Originally the movie was only going to be 25 minutes, and right before that it was going to be 20 minutes, and now we're at 30. So it kind of got a lot bigger than I thought. It isn't just the fact that shit took longer than expected, it's the fact that the scale itself has gone up exponentially, and now the movie's over the total length that I thought it would be in the first place. But the end result is you see the objectively coolest and most creative action scenes you've ever seen in a Madness flick. The biggest battles, the craziest designs. And the end of the movie will be so intense, Crinkles will delete the community.
Delete it, right.
I'm serious. Synthesgrid asks, wait Jsoull, is there at least an achievement for Path of Pain? I'm pretty sure there is an achievement for Path of Pain, but I care more about like what's actually in the game versus Steam achievements. Lemon Duck asks, hey Jsoull, what would Ammo do if somehow Tricky the Clown was alive and kicking? He'd probably be their #1 target. Many, many years ago, I originally wanted to introduce Ammo by them taking out the original Madness characters in like really big operations with specialized soldiers, but then eventually it just became Max 2. Originally there was going to be a movie where they took out Tricky, and they're going to send like these fucking mag agent monsters with laser faces after him.
It was then that Jsoull realized that his quarrel was not with the characters of Madness, but with everyone else that got involved.
Basically, yeah. Shit got fucking real, bro. Let me take a look-see-pooksy. How powerful is the binary sword? I mean, the original series, it's powerful enough to cut through armor. And then by the time Max 2 happens, Phobos has personally been modifying it to be ridiculously OP.
Hey, Jsoull.
What?!
Ah, fuck. I need to leave for now because I have to help install a fucking microwave. Which is not something I thought I would be saying.
The microwave.
Yeah, our microwave fucking died, and I have to help install a new one. I really am the microwave mechanic now.
So just so you guys know, Dreadman in our Veritrauma game has always been the microwave repair person, and now they get to repair a real microwave.
For the record, there isn't actually microwaves in Barotrauma, which is the best part. It's not even real.
Their character also thinks they're in Europe because they don't know what Europa is.
Yes, I love pretending to be Dale, actually. Oh god, I fucking love Barotrauma. Holy shit.
We're playing tonight. You better be there.
Strangles you. I'll be there.
Better. All right. Well, have a good night.
See you then. It's very nice attending the stream.
Very nice
Hey,
attending the
Necromancer.
stream.
Thanks
Bye,
for
Dre.
always doing my fucking concept art justice. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for making them.
I will see you now.
Okay, bye.
Bye. They disappeared. Now it's just Necrosexer and Dark Blignal stuck in a box. What will they do? I put my money on the Mexican. They know how to fight ferociously. Dark Signal will just pull out a gun before he realizes he didn't bring ammo.
That happened in a game of Stick RPG once.
Really?
Yep. You remember that Flash game, Stick RPG, where you get to walk around as a stick figure?
Yes! I remember in like
Space?
top-down perspective in the city, right?
Yep.
Yes, I remember that.
There
I
was
played
a
that.
segment where you could go to the bus stop and go to various places, and it was basically just a trap to make you lose all your money. And
That's-
there was one segment where I brought a gun with me, and some unscrupulous people were coming up to me, and I pulled the gun on, but click, forgot to buy ammo.
That is pretty
Get
funny.
shit kicked out of me for my troubles.
And did they make you swallow the pistol?
No, they didn't. I was impressed. That was a good gotcha moment. But then it's like, even after you buy the ammo, they still find ways to screw you over.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Some pigeons fly off with your wallet after you slip on a used condom or something. Stupid.
I mean, the whole game's just supposed to be fucking around.
Yeah, I know. But it's like it wasn't like the bank robberies where you could get caught, or if you were charming enough to pull off a robbery. There was really no point to go to the bus station.
Who uses the bus anymore, man?
Absolutely none.
That's America. Worst public transportation in most of the country, at least to the East Coast. When I was up in Vermont, it was actually really nice, though. They had good transport. Let me look through these other questions here. People bringing up leakers. I mean, yeah, I mean, to be fair, shit gets leaked a lot in the community. I mean, Crinkle's got his animation shit leaked at least a couple times, if you remember. That one had to do with Kelzad, if you recall.
Oh boy.
Well, actually, twice involving Kelzad. Once where Romp was leaked, and he just showed off the entire source file. And then another time where he showed the GP crew, like the opening of Madness 11, like the old version with like the older auto-tricky sprites. And one of the persons there recorded it and then handed it around to other people. Billy ended up showing me, and then I ended up making memes out of it, and that really pissed a lot of people off. Specifically just the GP guys.
Even though they were the ones flaunting it.
They were the ones who leaked it and recorded it and were handing it around to their friends. But if I tell people they did it, oh, now I'm leaking the content, I'm hurting Crinkles, even though they are the ones who recorded it without his permission. Just like weird shit like that. Jsoull, what do you think from Mr. S2? What do you think about mobile animators? I don't have an inherent problem with mobile animation at all. The main issue is like, it's kind of like a threshold thing where most of the people who animate on mobile are like little kids who are just like using like a bunch of free trial programs that like look like garbage, and they mass produce these crappy cartoons and flood the web with them. But I've seen some good mobile animators. It mostly comes down to like the skill versus the tools, although it can be a bit of both. Saneth says, besides N51 and Nexus, we're gonna see other factions, new factions. There's already a new faction, piss monkey. Ammo, these blue and crimson guys. What, you forget they exist? You stupid, you slow.
And Doritos.
Yeah, how short was the fucking bus you rode in onto school, huh? God. No, but you see them, and there's another faction that's working with Nexus Core called Diorthos, and they show up later. I mean, you already see some of them in the medical sector, but later on they show off their entire arsenal, and they're pretty killer. I see Coconut Gun asks, how did you go about for getting people's OCs into the animation? I just put them in. Oh, you think I'm asking them for permission? If I want to add them, I add them. If I told Kelzad that I was going to be using his character in my movie, and I would kill his character, he would start screaming and punching his fucking monitor. Like, he'd probably have the same pitched voice he had when he says, nobody, we're never going to get anywhere with this fucking plays. That shit. like screaming, seething, crying shit. I remember once I had to trick someone to get their sprites. He's actually in this room. One sec.
Yes, just admit that to everyone here.
No, I mean like, let me go find them. Well, it's not like it's illegal. Here, ASFDB. So what ended up happening was, I'm like, hey, I like your character a lot. Can I have him in my movie? He's like, no, Jsoull, I'll never let you have him. Never. And you want to know my response to that? I got a friend of mine message saying, oh, hey, ASFDB, I like your character. Can I animate a test of him? He's like, oh, sure, here you go. And then I just got the files from that.
Wow.
I
Usually people wouldn't admit to that.
I really like his design. I love his character design a lot. It's like an ATP remix, but it looks cool and identifiable. And he's like, no, I don't want my character to be memorialized in your movie. I never want my character to be used anywhere. Okay. Guess I'm putting him in my movie then. And
there's a thick layer of irony here.
What about it?
Just a thick layer of irony in just how you were trash talking how Kelza and his friends were leaking shit they shouldn't have, and you use underhanded tactics as a means of getting what you want from them.
Well, I wouldn't say, first of all, that's nowhere near the same scale, and second of all, this wasn't really, like, he was handing his files to other people.
It still infringes on the same principles. Yeah, it kind of does.
Tiny bit. I just like his design a lot.
I don't really think so.
I like his design. I wanted to memorialize him because he was barely in any content. Not a lot of people knew who he was. And I really liked him, and I liked his design. I liked his animations. I'm like, hey man, I want to add your cool dude. And he's like, no, never. So I add him. If he just gave me the sprites, it wouldn't have been any different. I still would have done it no matter what. What, you think I'm gonna have to ask fucking Dim for permission to put him in the movie? He's dead. Literally unable to be even communicated with.
That's a different story.
Shot and killed. This guy is also dead too. He hasn't been in the community in like 6 years. I remember getting his sprites like a really long time ago. Like, this was not anything recent. This was like 2016, 2017.
Either way.
Yeah, I'll admit it was kind of dickish, but at the same time, I just really like his design. I thought, like, you already see like so many OCs with just like the remixed OG Madness gear, but I actually liked what he did with the fangs and the green. I thought it looked really cool. I even gave him a little cute little custom sword I still want to touch up and do sprite work. I just thought he looks neat. And I like neat characters, so I put him in my movie. Kaboom. And now he's dead forever. Actually, I haven't seen him be active at all in like forever, so I think he actually did disappear. I mean, Darkson though, should I ask Delamortes before I used his sheet to put him in the movie?
I think when the chance was still there, you probably should have.
I think Delamortes kind of disappeared for centuries and only very occasionally showed back up. I don't want to put the fate of my movie into hands of people that might not even exist anymore.
That's why you just do it yourself.
Yeah, basically.
Instead of just going through this weird process of getting somebody to give them their sprite so you can mooch off of them.
Mooching. It's not like I traced his sprites. I just needed a clear view of all the angles, and then we remade it ourselves.
I mean, honestly, tracing the sprite would have been better than what you just did.
But we didn't have the sprites.
It's still work that you did. It's still something that you did.
Well, I mean, tracing is a lot less authentic. I wouldn't want to trace. I just wanted the full. I just needed like full angles because I remember he animated one scene for a call out, but he only had the side view like this. I need like a front view and a back view, and I got the sheet that had that so we can make it as authentically as possible. I just care about documenting and, like, fucking backing up all the Madness community stuff. Because I have not seen this guy in any other Madness projects in the last 5-6 years. So he was basically forgotten by everybody, but I remember him. I just want him to be in the movie. So it might have been underhanded tactics, but it was for a cause I consider to be not evil.
Noble.
I guess. I just thought he looks cool, and I wanted him to be in the movie because no one else remembered him, and he kind of vanished. So I have him here. One moment. Hey Jsoull, what are Diorthos again? That is LK Gross's faction of basically super cybernized robot soldiers who completely fuck the shit out of everybody and have like super high-tech crap.
He is no longer known by that name. He now simply goes by Lurk.
Lurk. He's like lurking around and leaving boxes of nails on people's doorsteps. Basically, his faction's like these super cool mechanized units. I think we showed off some sprites when he was on a stream a while ago. He does some really sick-ass designs, and they do show up as functional like Nexus's ultra-special kill teams. In the context of Maxification 2, Diorthos were an independent faction, but then when discovered by Nexus Corps, they're given a deal. It's like, we'll let you keep operating autonomously, but you need to give us, like, in tribute, like, an amount of your soldiers and technology. And they've been having that agreement for a very long time. And it's gotten to the point where Diorthos are functionally like the honor guard of the Nexus Corps. One step below Phobos' personal bodyguards. Doesn't that sound neat, Dark?
I have to wonder what kind of partnership they had going to even get to that point.
Well, Diorthos, it's hard to say. It's like, Diorthos themselves were quite powerful, but they also had a very vulnerable position. They're in an underground city, and Nexus Corps could have just like dropped a nuke on top of them and caused a massive cave-in and killed everybody. But at the same time, Diorthos had such powerful defensive technology that they could have taken a good chunk out of Nexus Corps. So like, okay,
Rather, it would have been a massive waste of resources to crack that shell.
Yeah, and it also just Nexus Corps just prefer just getting the technology in intact condition versus having to salvage it from a nuclear crater.
I mean, they believe in diplomacy, I imagine.
They would work. They would
That's
work.
how they got so many. That's how they got so many clients for their warlording enterprise in the first place.
Yeah, and they would rather work with it when they have the capacity for doing so. So for Diorthos, it's like, you know, they pay like Diorthos pays tribute to Nexus Corps, and in return, Nexus Corps just completely leaves them alone. But Diorthos has to give them like a certain amount of soldiers and technology, like a part of their technology, like every, let's say, like every 5-6 years or something.
Prushy believes that Diorthos is an atom smasher of the faction.
Kinda. I mean, Abaddon's more Atom Smasher, and Ammo's more Atom Smasher than... Like, Diorthos is, like, too, like, clean and technical and intelligent. Ammo's more, like, fucking brutal and cutthroat.
I don't really consider Diorthos to be clean, because their original lore was that they had basically augmented themselves to the point where they were beyond Nevadian recognition.
I know, they were no longer really human beings.
They basically did to themselves what the Combine did to themselves.
Yeah.
Where they've hit some kind of singularity, and they're not really even... They don't resemble what they used to be.
Yeah, when I say, like... When I say clean, I mean, like, tactical. Like, they're far more, like, scientifically intelligent. Ammo has really advanced technology, but they're more like occult science versus, like, being, like, the highest level of technological science, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, Dark?
I'm not sure if
Occult science
Diorthos
versus...
was any cult-like to him.
Diorthos
The real
doesn't...
difference was that the real difference is that Ammo has access to metaphysical science,
Yeah.
and Diorthos probably hadn't gotten past the fringe.
Diorthos basically has pushed conventional technology to as far as he can go in Nevada, while Ammo's found some shortcuts to have some really crazy shit. Think of it like that.
They had gone behind the curtain to understand how Nevada works.
And they've found a way to be able to earth some technology
they
that
would know
shouldn't
they
exist.
had that. They had that power because of their god, their former god.
Thanks to Auditor.
Hey guys, here's a spoiler for you. There's an improbability drive that was never found.
The secret drive from MC9.
I was thinking more like the drive that was just left on the train tracks. And then it suddenly goes missing. I wonder who could have taken that. Think of it like that. 1 sec. We're gonna start wrapping this up in about 10 so minutes. This has been a pretty good stream. I'm happy that the stream actually worked this time and didn't get all fucked out. What the hell's this? Hey Jason, what would happen if someone made Parodying Madness 3? I was making Parodying Madness 3 for a very short period of time after 2. I was gonna be working with Sethic on it, but then you know how that went. The original plan was to have Seeker and fucking well, Edgar Guns for Hands wasn't gonna be dead. He was just gonna be like kind of incapacitated. And Newton was the guy with the orange shades by the end of the Reboot the Madness 2. They're gonna be making their way through the facility as the eye monsters start to have like a kind of like cult revival, and they start rebelling against the agents, and it kind of turns into like a big gangbang clusterfuck fight. And eventually, like a big final battle with Professor Dordum, the blue flame-haired dude. And it would have ended with the white glasses being used to carve the entire facility in half, like a giant laser beam. Explosions and all that fun stuff. Like, white glasses themselves were so powerful because you could come up with any power and then they would have it. So you can make it so like anyone you look at turns to stone. You can make it so if you're thinking of a weapon, it appears in your hand. Like, that's how powerful it was. It wasn't just like a pair of glasses that gives you some other fancy ability. It's like basically like a fucking... It's like almost like the improbability drug. Like, it's like an admin console, then you spawn in anything. Like, that's how powerful it was. Now does that make the stakes more clear, Dark Signal? What do you mean, ah?
I don't know how you were gonna make a collab out of that.
Well, easy. We just do sequence by sequence, and then like with how Parodying 2. I mean, I would never want to fucking host another Parodying 2. This was gonna be like between like 5 people instead of like 500. But it would have been like we would have laid the groundwork and said, okay, you do this scene, and then just work on the key points and central events and all that crap. But like I wasn't motivated to jump back into hell after getting done Parodying 2, because getting Parodying 2 finished already should have been impossible, but I did it. And I wasn't really ready to go and do something impossible immediately afterward. I needed a little bit of a break. Just a tiny bit. Saneth asks, Jsoull, what the fuck? Can I be a dog? Would you adopt me? What's this weird sick-ass fetish shit? That's disgusting. Disgusting. Mr. S2 asks, want to see my mobile animation? Rate 1 to 10. You said the same thing twice, so you're obviously schizophrenic. You have an unstable mind.
You can see why I haven't really been sending you questions to answer.
There
It's
are-
more fun to watch you discover them.
Oh, I see. Hey, Jsoull and Dark Signal, do you prefer Marvel or DC? Comic books are for pussies! Anyway, Santa says, Jsoull, I made this factions for my movie. The second one is my OC PMC faction. What do you think? I don't know what I think. I don't see anything. You think you're like sending images in here? I don't see jack shit. I just see you looking like a dumbass.
Yeah, you kind of realize that you're here to watch him. No one's here to watch you.
That's less that and more like you don't even like I don't see your faction here. I don't see them getting shipped to my door. I can't review something I cannot see. DM me on Discord if you have me added there, and I'll let you know what I think. Anyways, let me take a look. Yeah, Omega Synth got it pretty accurately, where Ammo Science is like arcane occult versus Diorthos being like super sci-fi.
But isn't the Nexus already the case? Or is this more of a case where the Nexus got that from them?
Nexus got that from Diorthos. Nexus was already like decently technologically advanced, but like their most advanced stuff was from Diorthos tributes. Nexus's technology is advanced, but they've also just kind of streamlined it to the point where it starts to lose efficiency. I mean, it loses like usable efficiency. Fucking rooster. Anyways, it becomes more efficient to produce and to arm your soldiers with, but less efficient in actual combat. Versus Diorthos, which is like far more quality focus. I'm gonna take a look-see. I think the drive in MC3... Well, yeah, there's a couple drives we didn't know exactly what happened. There is an improbability drive that appears in Max 2 that was in the original series, and we never saw what happened to it. And you get to find out.
It is kind of jarring to see that Nexus used to be viewed as top dog in Project Nexus, and now in Max 2, you just kind of see that they're just getting kind of lazy.
Well, they've gotten lazy on their throne.
They didn't put the work in anymore.
Well, they did put the work in, but now they've been sitting on, like, basically Nevada as a throne for, like, almost a century, and they've had nothing to do, so of course it's starting to get lazy. Their standing army has had nothing to do for decades. There's no other cities left, there's no other major factions they're aware of. They think N51 is just like some little fringe group that doesn't stand a chance to fight them, and they don't even know ammo exists. Or they might be suspicious of like a group with some of their activities going on, but they don't know like as a faction that they exist. And their standing army has had no active combat for a long time. That's actually
So basically what happened to the Overwatch on Earth.
Basically, yeah. They all became fat and slow and stuffed their armor with pillows.
They started wearing pillowcases instead of actual Kevlar.
So they could nap on the spot. Hey, that's the secret, Darks. You don't actually kill any Overwatch soldiers in Half-Life 2. When you shoot them, their armor's so thick it protects them, they just take a nap.
They just go to sleep.
Nice and cozy. Let me take a look at these other ones. Are we allowed to take a peek at the orthos? I showed them off on other streams. Give me a minute. The orthos. Yeah, a couple streams ago I showed them off, you lazy bastard. And plus, you get to see plenty of them in the medical sector. Oh, don't make me say inappropriate things, Dark Signal.
You kind of already do.
Oops. Hey, Necro, that body's looking pretty good. You did a great job with the buckle. The zipper. This character will carry on a 1mm pistol that requires a 15-minute reload animation. So, consider that. Let me take a look. Mr. S2 says, what do you think N51 Army? I mean, they're in the movie. What do you think N51 Army?
That doesn't say anything.
I guess he's like, what do I think of N50? What do I think of N51? Well, I like them enough to where I put them in my movie, so is that. And Dark Signal, just so I can crush your morale, if you said no to them being in the movie, I would have added them anyways.
I know you would have.
Good. Yeah, Synth says, yeah, that's why you don't hear their heart rate stop. They're just taking a nap. I mean, they're fat enough to look like that.
You don't hear the EKG flatline for Combine soldiers in Half-Life 2, but you do in Half-Life Alyx.
Fuck Half-Life Alyx!
Here we go.
I'm not going on that rant again. I hate that game.
Please don't.
I hate that game. For the same reason I hate Halo Infinite. Actually, not the same reason, but I hate them both in a similar way. Okay, I'm gonna animate this guy, like, he's gonna start vomiting up yellow, and he's like, oh, I didn't know I had mustard this morning. Oh, wait. Then he remembers he's an ATP. Dark, do you think there's like an adjustment period where, like, ATPs have to remember that they don't bleed red anymore?
If they're bleeding, there's probably not going to be much for them to adjust to, because it's probably going to be the first and only time they bleed.
Because they get shot once and die immediately?
Sure. I mean, when haven't you seen an ATP bleed out? When haven't you seen ATP blood and they can still stand up after that?
Sort of a good point. This guy's not doing too well, Dark.
I would imagine not.
Because he got shot with that sniper rifle from earlier, and he's like, oh shit, I'm kind of like bleeding to death. Ammo soldiers are tough, but they're not invincible. Like if you shoot them enough times, it looks like they're not taking damage, but they really are. They just had all their pains. They just have all their pain centers turned off. Because pain only slows you down. For the same reason that people on an adrenaline rush don't realize their bones are broken, but they keep going.
Pain is just weakness leaving the body.
Is that your actual opinion?
No.
What is your
Although
opinion
It's
on?
definitely one I would. Although it's definitely one I would like to believe on some days.
Because Dark Signal, he's gotten shot a couple times, and I've been shot too. It hurts a lot.
I haven't been shot, but I've most definitely been stabbed.
Yeah, it happens. Shit just occurs. That's how that goes. Damn, Necker, you got a lot done in a short time. You even got done the glasses. I like the chunky bit in the middle. Just make them look so stylish. This character is like, yeah, I can't lose, I can't lose. They lose. More questions. Let me take a look. Operations, advantage of training. Yeah, Mega Synth's pretty accurate there. He mentions like N51 is like far more tactically, let's say, advantageous against Nexus Corps because they've been keeping their soldiers sharp for this entire time while Nexus has just kind of been sitting around. Actually, a little detail I have in the movie is when eventually comes on, you notice the Nexus police seem to be like more competent than regular Nexus agency soldiers, and that's because the police have had to deal with shit like every single day, dealing with like OC bar fights and crap, versus the Nexus standing army which hasn't done anything in forever. It's like because the cops have to deal with so much street trash, it actually gives them a bit more of like a skill advantage over regular Nexus soldiers.
It's not simply a skill advantage; it's an experience advantage.
Well, yeah,
that's
that
what
too.
N51 has over Nexus. Experience outranks everything.
Basically, yeah, and it got to the point where, oh, it's sorry to say, Dark, but it seems like N51, a couple soldiers actually die.
And that's expected.
And what happens is the President of the United States will appear and give an address to N51 at the start of commencement.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
George W. Bush.
Of all presidents,
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
wasn't that Bill Clinton?
Anyways. Yeah, that's gonna happen. So just so you guys know, at the end of the movie, it's gonna be Barack Obama coming up to the stage. The only Black Madness character that exists. What the hell are these questions? Jsoull, will there be people killing people in Max 2? Are you special needs? It's fucking madness. People are getting shot all the time. That'd be like if you walked into Chirac and you didn't expect to see someone get shot that night. What do you think's gonna happen, Holmes? God. Then, I don't know how to pronounce this one. Damashoy Goy Barisik? Hey, Jsoull, should I be... The way he spells these letters is ridiculous. Should spelled S-H-O-U-D and become spelled B-I-C-O-M. Become a Madness Combat creator. I would say if you have creative talent, there's many ways you can try to become a creator. It doesn't have to specifically be Madness. If you're enthusiastic, give it a try, I guess. What else we got? Megasynth. Question for Dark Signal. Is there any morality in N51 units? The ammo might be more machine than human, but the N51 is still fully organic. Do they have a moral code?
I have made this comparison before that the dichotomy between ammo and N51 is like the dichotomy between Locust and Felix from Red vs. Blue. It's like Felix was very violent and sadistic, but he had a certain charm to him. It's like he had absolutely no remorse to everything he did. N51 is very authentic. They care mostly about getting the mission done, and they have basically adopted this kind of ideology to them where they believe that being a true soldier is putting the mission above all else. But at that point, how do I put this?
How do you put this, Dark? How do you explain the Heart of Darkness? Dark Snails realizing that
guess it's
N51 committed an
It's
atrocity.
not really a realization. It's just more of like trying to figure out how I want to explain it, because the movie explains it without me having to explain it. It's like you can still see the conflict of ideology between the two during certain scenes of the movie, like when Ammo decides that they can just shoot innocent civilians, and then 51 is like, no, that's not what we do. That's not why we're here.
And then Ammo just does it anyways because they're assholes. And it's very clear that they're just being assholes.
Yep.
Basically, if you're in the Megaplex during the invasion, you better bet your lucky stars you run into N51 and not Ammo.
At least if you are an unarmed combatant.
Yeah, if you're Nexus, you'd probably rather run into Ammo because they just want you dead. But with OCs, they kind of take pleasure in killing them. That's why the Kamamo here does a cute little pistol flare before he blows this guy's brains out. They're probably going to piss on the corpse later, too. I mean, they're bad people, Dark. I mean, I've had
Yes,
people
they are.
unironically ask me, hey, Jsoull, are Ammo the bad guys? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, they are. You shouldn't be rooting for them. They're going against everything you want.
Must I tell you?
They're just crazy, crazy, crazy.
Going against everything I want, or going against everything the community wants?
The community, because the community wants more madness, but Ammo's like, we want everyone who's an OC to die. So, you know. Well, they do have greater aspirations that aren't as blunt as that, but they're kind of spoilery. But given the fact that you know that they were hyper-religious occult scientists who like the Auditor a lot, you can probably fill in a couple blanks. Given the
I
other
would
scenes.
say to answer the overall question of whether or not N51 has morality, I would say in a pragmatic sense they do. It's like they're not going to go out of their way to kill you like Ammo does.
Basically, yeah, like N51 would just do whatever is like immediately utilitarian for accomplishing the mission. But Ammo, like, they also want the mission to be completed, but they also care a lot about their unbridled hatred for OCs.
I mean, let's be fair, they're carrying their hatred for Hank over to everybody else.
Because they see everyone else as an equal threat. Everyone else who can break the uniformity of absolute dominance and control. They all must be destroyed. That's why they shoot unarmed civilians, because it isn't just because they have fun doing it. It's because they also see them as like the most dangerous threat, even more so than Nexus Corps or other OCs. Because think of it like this: Hank was just a regular guy standing around, and then suddenly he became one of the most greatest threats, cyber death, fucking doom ninja who comes back from the dead a trillion times. All just from just standing around and getting into a fist fight with some guy next to a tree.
I don't think that's what started it.
Well, I know.
I just think he was. You could just think of him as being selected for the job.
Selected from the job from the higher powers, who suddenly gave him ridiculous abilities. And Ammo's like, okay, well that can happen to some random guy. It can happen to literally anybody. We're not taking any chances.
So their mission is just to kill everyone.
Just kill everyone. Systematically murder everyone. Like genocide on an unprecedented level. When there's only when there's only like a handful of 1,000 people left in Nevada at this point, it is functional genocide what they're doing. Kill everybody who is an N51 or Ammo. What do you think about that, Dark Signal?
I think that's a bit too extreme even for Ammo.
Really?
Yeah.
Who do you think they'd be leaving alive afterwards?
Because it's like, what would be the point of genociding absolutely everybody if there's nothing left? I
Well-
don't think that's the kind of order that their mission statement was going for.
Well, it's also because N51 hasn't been given the whole story.
Of course they haven't. That's why they don't really trip. That's why the relationship between the two is it's on edge.
It's tenuous. N51 knows they're probably being tricked, but they also recognize that they will never have another opportunity like this again.
They see the double cross coming.
but they don't know what it will be, and they think that at the very least they should take the opportunity and try, like, just risk getting fucked over later versus never being able to have their dream come true. Because N51's been just kind of stuck in the desert this entire time because Nexus Core got so fucking gigantic that even with all their arms, they couldn't really guarantee themselves victory. They could definitely make, like, if N51 did like the all or nothing assault like they do in this movie, they could probably get pretty fucking far. They could absolutely get to the Megaplex and probably capture some lower sectors, but they would eventually be wiped out by Diorthos and all the OCs fighting back. Like just
like how Ammo would be able to take out the OCs, but the Nexus would rout them because they have the numerical advantage and they can master technological superiority.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, Ammo would be like, Ammo's really good as like a precision force for killing really powerful characters and getting like very specific strong points busted up. Like, they're good for punching through like really concentrated areas of very high risk and high reward situations. Like what happens in the security block when they blast open the door to medical. Shit like that. But like in an actual combined arms war, they wouldn't do very good at all. Like if they fought N51 like mano a mano, like Ammo would almost certainly lose. Because N51 has the numerical and logistical advantage. If it was a war involving like subterfuge and sabotage and shit, then Ammo has a better chance. On an individual operational basis, they would have a much higher chance. But on their own, they could not take the Megaplex. Their entire invasion here and killing all the OCs is basically like a prelude to their favorite war machine showing up later, and you probably know who that is. Do you, Dark? Do you?
I mean, everyone else should.
Good. Let me see. For Jsoull, with what you just said about threats for the supremacy and such, haven't the Ammo ever considered capturing and brainwashing particularly skilled characters for their own use? Well, that's the thing. That seems like an applicable option until you realize of all the OC backstories that involve people who are brainwashed breaking free, and the absolute fucking, like, mountain of OC backstories that involve people backstabbing the AHW. Then they're a little less eager to do that.
Yeah, you kind of have to recognize the failure rate on that.
The failure rate's way too fucking high. It's just like being a malevolent original in and of itself just comes with the fact that like they will be able to like defy brainwashing to like fulfill a narrative role. So it's better just not to do that.
It's kind of like how N51 has a no smoking rule.
Except for one single shot. There's gonna be one.
I still disapprove.
I know, but it will look so fucking cool.
I absolutely disapprove of that.
When you see it and you still disapprove of it, then I'll understand.
Then you'll still keep it anyway because then that will be work you don't want wasted.
And
yeah,
also,
I'm not fooled by this.
Oh god. Anyways, yeah, brainwashing characters is a pretty dumb idea. Like, conventionally it would work, but OCs have a tendency to like not really stay brainwashed. And plus, Ammo would want absolute control and authority over every single one of their units. They wouldn't want a wild card like that.
I mean, why do you think the AHW have the manpower that they do?
Mass.
Every agent AHW is an extension of the auditor's will.
Basically, yeah. And another thing I wanted to bring up was, at least my, like, this is a little bit of headcanon, but since it's in Max 2, it kind of like it does affect the movie a little bit. The reason why the AHW progressively got like less efficient in the series, to the point where they're just like, a bunch of dummies walking around with billy clubs against people with machine guns, is because the Auditor was pumping out too many clones too fast, to the point where he was straining the actual like gene and consciousness pool of the soldiers to where like
he basically Grineered himself.
Yeah, like the Grineer from Warframe, where they just mass produced them too fast, too much, and they just got dumber and dumber and weaker. To the point where the ones that show up in like Madness 10 are basically like fighting the third graders.
I mean, let's be let's be reasonable here. In Romp.FLA, by that point, it was just who got the first shot. The only person who ever fired a shot in the HW for Romp was that Soldat. That was it.
One
Same goes
Soldat.
for 7.5.
One
The one with the
Soldat.
shotgun. Yes, just one.
Pretty intense, am I right?
I mean, Crinkle's combat just got too boring up until 9.5 when he started taking a few hints.
Good. Yeah, you can see what I mean. Dark at least agrees that it's an applicable way to understand why the Auditor has so many garbage soldiers. Why do they miss all the time? Also,
I imagined.
what were you gonna
I
say?
imagined that they just. I imagine the reason that they were so ineffectual against Hank is because they never evolved like Hank did.
They did get those
Like,
upgrades, but they
Hank
seem
got
to be
better at a much quicker rate
well,
than they did.
yeah, and the upgrades existed, but they're also like really minor to the point where they really didn't do that much. Like the actual differences in combat efficiency was like completely negligible.
Yeah, it was only by a few. It was only by a few digits, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. One sec, tweaking this. Yeah, so that's my headcanon for why the agents got so bad. Also why like so many agents had like no weapons or just like old wooden planks and sticks. Was because the
I
Auditor...
imagine that's just because they don't really care about their armaments.
Well, that, and also like they're outpacing their capacity to create weapons for their soldiers. There was one really cool detail in Project Nexus 1's lore that I liked, where I think it was like the elite sword, like the 1337 swords. Those were apparently
digitally created.
Yeah, digitally created and digitally distributed, which I thought was like a really cool idea, and I liked, like, I wanted to see in the series like devices the HW used to actually like bring digitized content into like physical form, because that's kind of what you got with Mag Agent V3, where you saw the Auditor was downloading its genes. I wanted to see more stuff like that, and I do have plans for. Yeah, like that was a really cool idea. Like I thought maybe that was a project the Auditor's working on to try to overcome logistical problems, given the fact that Nevada's a zombie hellscape full of people trying to destroy his entire faction. Bunch of garbage. We're gonna be wrapping this up in 5 minutes. Any last questions should be sent now. We went on for a long time though. Holy shit, over 3 hours. This is good though. This makes up for the last stream that had to get canned.
Is Hank and Friends' antics and MCs supposed to be an in-universe inspiration for the OC's rebellion against Ammo/M51?
M51. Well, in Maxification 2, everything in this series up to Madness 10 actually happened. So it is very likely that the history of what happened in Nevada can inspire a lot of OCs to do some really wacky shit and get into big fights and all that, but it isn't seen as like a cartoon. It's like actually, like it actually physically happened in this universe. Like this happens like 90 years after Madness 10. If that gives you some sense of it. Like here, you even see it looks circa 2003. Back in Madness 3.
Alvag asks, how did Ammo get with M51 as partners?
They sent him a gift basket.
I feel like that deserves a little bit of a story all its own.
Well, Dark Signal can give you the abridged, vague version, and then
I
maybe...
probably won't. I probably won't right now.
Why not? You're scared, terrified?
No, it's just because I think it deserves better than just a simple explanation.
I guess so. I'll say that they had a dramatic opening, let's say. They wanted to make sure they got their attention. And Ammo's the one that initiated communication. Although I'm not sure if N51 was aware Ammo existed before that. Probably not. Although Dark Signal might disagree.
I don't think they recognize them.
It wouldn't make any sense for them to. Ammo's been keeping a pretty tight-lipped operation, let's say. I need to make a new sprite
Deimos
for...
and Sanford be memorialized in the museum, or will they be forgotten? Well, why would they want to recognize the thing that took them down in Project Nexus? Why
Well,
would they put their enemies in the museum?
well, to be fair, this doesn't take place in the Project Nexus version of the universe.
Yes, but there is a museum in the Megaplex.
There is a museum in the Megaplex that you're seeing right here. No, it's not done. I know it's not done. I get done all the character animation, then I do the background stuff. But we got done the Tricky sprite. There's Tricky. There he is, guys.
Stupid clown.
Fucking clowns. But yeah, there's gonna be Jesus, Hank, and Tricky here on the 3 stand. We got this here. There's gonna be a big car display here. A bunch of other posters and some podiums. I think I'm gonna put Sanford and Deimos on these 2 here. What do you think of that, Dark?
What do you think about that, Morty?
Fuck you.
That's
Fucking
just what you remind me of when you asked that question.
bitch ass.
You're like Rick asking Morty for validation.
I was gonna say something very inappropriate, and I stopped for your sake.
Man, for the stream's sake too, especially for your channel's sake.
Channel's sake. You probably knew what I was gonna say then. Good. Probably. Yeah, this guy's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be feeling like this squishy sensation in my lungs. Does that mean I'm bleeding? And he is bleeding a lot. What I'm gonna do is... Oh yeah, one last thing that really pisses me off. Crinkles, you are the laziest human being that has ever lived. You wanna know why? He doesn't make ATP flesh yellow. That's just a little pet peeve I have.
5 and 952.
Yeah, it doesn't make any... It felt like more like... The obvious answer is because he just didn't want to have to make variants for gore to be yellow. Because it makes no sense that if ATP blood is yellow, that their flesh wouldn't have a yellow
A very
tinge.
simple solution to that is just make it grayscale and tinted based on the gore color.
Oh, okay, good. So you agree with me that it's... Like, it doesn't make any sense that their flesh is red if their blood's yellow.
I'm saying the solution was very simple.
Yeah. Like hell, I can even do that right here. So we got this standard hand here that make it single frame. I'm gonna go inside. I'll even do like a little tutorial for everyone to watch. Ready? We get the blood in place like that. I gotta clean up a little bit around the edges. This is kind of old, but it'll do the trick for now. Here, Crinkles, I'll even show you how to do it because I'm such an asshole. So we got the blood here, and then what we do is I'm gonna go. Let me actually make it its own thing. Blood hand angle. And I'm gonna go into here. I'm gonna make the blood, let's say, just white. Now it's gonna make it invisible because I have an overlay on it, but that doesn't matter very much. Because then we go to tint, and then here we can do the job. We can do the deed. We can make it any color we want by just tinting it. We can make it green, make it cyan, but in this case I just want it to be yellow. If I want it to be red, just do that. And they're done. Easy peasy. Now I have an angle for him doing this, and I can swap it. And the other cool thing is I can even do different frames. So I can make the first frame yellow, or actually, just for convenience's sake, I'll make the first frame red. First frame red, second frame yellow. So now, just like that, 2 different versions. But yeah, that's like one thing that like immediately stands out. Because in the other cartoons, we've seen ATPs get cut into pieces and all their insides are yellow, but then for some reason, like the flesh immediately under the skin is still red. I don't get it. Like, that'd be like if I made this ATP here bleed red dark. What would you think about that?
Man, I would assume it's a Nexus engineer.
This guy's Nexus? This looks like a Nexus Core soldier.
Nope.
Good. This is an ATP based body. I've seen people like think it's like the version of an ATP engineer, and it kind of is. At least like combat role wise, they carry around the special equipment. But ATP's original series basically just became like regular soldiers because they barely ever fixed anything. But here, the ammo, these guys like, they're called technicians, and they carry around like some specialized weaponry, and they deal with opening doors and shit like that. Fixing shit, setting up equipment, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I feel like the ACPs were only ever called engineers because their opening role and their debut appearance, they're seen trying to fix the improbability drive, And
With
that's
a-
literally it.
With a wrench.
That became their namesake for the entirety of the series. Just because of that.
How do you fix the improbability drive with a wrench, Dark?
Ah.
I don't think you can.
If
I
it
feel like,
doesn't start, whack it with a pickaxe.
I'm like saying you can fucking fix a car engine by using a hammer. It just doesn't work. Move that down here. Necro looks so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Alright, we're gonna wrap up the stream now. We've been doing this for like almost 3.5 hours. Hopefully this makes up for the stream getting fucked last time. Sorry about that still, but it was kind of out of my hands. YouTube was just like, oh, what's that? You want to stream to your fans? We're gonna pull the plug on you, little bitch. But now we did this, and it's going pretty well. Let me look at the last few questions, and we'll be wrapping this up. Blah, 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 ammo, blah, blah, blah. Have Ammo tried making their own replica or clone of the Auditor or making their own employer? That actually was the original plan for them, like, way back. So, Ammo's, like, the plan for Ammo changed a lot when I was making Artifact. Originally, it was, like, just AHW remnants, but then they became more and more their own thing. And originally, they weren't going to find the Auditor in the other place. It was going to be a unique, like, four-eyed and four-limbed employer. I was kind of inspired from Unit 2 from Evangelion. Then eventually I decided, hey, it'd be a lot cooler if I brought back my favorite character instead. So I did that. And Emma themselves changed a lot since then. Although the idea of them making their own would also be pretty neat. That was also like they would take like this employee and like kind of like raise him up to the level of the Auditor, try to take his place, but that didn't end up happening. We'll take a look. Demo singing forward. Mr. Sand Eater removed one of his messages because he said he ate sand. Sorry, Sand Eater. Guess that happens. Mr. Sand Eater asks, aren't they like the scientists? Well, yeah, the technician guys are like the basically mechanics and engineers of the ammo, but they're actually like it's inappropriate to call them engineers because that term in the Madness universe is useless because the regular engineers for the HW don't do jack shit. You couldn't ask them to switch a fucking light bulb. That's the shit that happens. We got through a lot of questions though. That's pretty good. Wait, Prushel asks, if you were to design more employers, how would you do it? Well, you'll see what I do at the end of the movie. A lot of them show up. You'll see exactly what we do. And I guarantee you, they're not going to be color swaps.
You will not let that go.
I cannot let that go. I hate color swaps and particle swaps. I want them to be cool and unique and cool. But I wish everybody who's watching a phenomenal 4th of July. I'm sorry that we didn't really technically get a stream in June, but I did my best, and we get it on the 1st of July instead. I might be visiting some people in a few days, might not be, but no matter what, I wish all of you a safe and resourceful 4th of July. If you're not an American, go fuck yourself.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding, I love all of you. If you're not American, just have a good day. But if you are American, if you don't boil something, boil some water and throw it over the edge of a apartment building onto a sidewalk or grill some meat, I'm gonna be pretty damn disappointed. Grill some meat, use some propane, and make a clean burn in hell. In the meantime, I'll be seeing all you lovely people later. Thank you for joining in on the stream. I'm glad this went as smoothly as it did. We will be continuing to stream at least once every month. The rest of this month is going to be pretty fucking busy for me, though, I do have to say. So there might not be as much updates on my channel, but I will do what I can to get you guys in the loop. Because I'm fucking traveling around a lot this month and doing a lot of business shit. And I need to get all that out of the way so the rest of the year is open for me being able to work more on this. Dark Signal's also going to be busy flying to another continent, and we'll see how that goes. So, to everyone, have a good night. Dark, do you have any closing words?
Okay, bye.
Damn, you're heartless, cruel, cold. We love you, everyone. Have a fantastic day. No, seriously, have a good day.